streaming, guys. Why is that camera on the wonk? Where that? Why is the camera on the wonk? Why is my camera on the wonk? He said wonk. He didn't say something else. Let's start a new meeting, guys. It's gone all glitchy. Oh. Oh. Hi, Beastie Boy. Why won't that? New mail. Sorry, just sending an email that's bounced back. You know when you send an email and it bounces back? Sketty. King Boys are here! Are you on the bus? King Boys are here. Naughty. Naughty boy. A naughty boy. King Boys are here is one of the great YouTubers of our generation. It's a young man, who has a YouTube channel called Alex Plays Fortnite. And I thoroughly recommend, just adding some photos to an email, thoroughly recommend that you go and have a little look at that, Alex Plays Fortnite. I'm attaching some pictures to an email. I'm doing a podcast. I've got a lot of podcast invitations. Did I attach that one? This is a nice picture of me. Not that one. I'm going to send that one. Look at this. I'll show you a nice picture of me. Is that going to work now? Thank you. Look, sit stands. There we go. Why won't it send that message? We won't able to send this message. Oh, man. What's going on? Keeps bouncing back. If it bounces back one more time, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Oh, that one didn't bounce back. Why would that one bounce back? Because she typed... Is Oh, send it to me. Flipping heck. Please remind me to use your Prime sub on the 8th. I will remind you. Why are you calling me Ian? That's weird. That's a weird situation. So I'm going to copy that link. Oh, it says it's calling you a suspicious user. King Boys are here. It's calling you a suspicious user. Right, last attempt to send that email. Last attempt to send that email. That one didn't seem to bounce back. Pat's, you see Pat's going for the snake there. It's Patty going for the snake. Patty vibing in the background, totes. Her and Swavey are both thinking, dinner. Right now, Pats could take him. We can't have him out in the same room. She's skittish. You skittish. Show's not even started yet, and boy oh boy, we're having fun, right? We're having fun, right? Good evening, Nellie Baines. You know the song Lucy Baines, right? You know the song Lucy Baines. I was going to start a bit earlier and play some video games. However, I was listening to a great podcast recommended to me by a great man, David Turners. I don't need anything. I just wanted to say hello before the show started. He said, replying to tweet. The Darknet Diaries, two-parter called Xbox Underground. Oh, you can't. There we go. That's better. Is that better? Can you hear me now? A two-parter called Xbox Underground. That's what I've been listening to. Who wants to call it? Well, look, the show hasn't even started yet. We're OGs. We're OGs. I need to. If we go here, a little set. Jesus. Copy that. No, we won't. You know the phone number: 0203 286 6370 is the phone. What's up? Pat's is gone. I wonder if I can I pull this? There we go. Let's see if. Let's get Patty cam. You seen this? Seen this boy? Gonna go in focus, are you? Look at me. Did you happen to see the most beautiful boy in the world? Look at that. Poggers, look. That's the OG. That's OG Dad Stilly. OG Dad Stilly. And unlucky to that gentleman there, King Boys are here, because he looks exactly the same. Oh, the email has worked. Hang on. Very peculiar. I replied to your most recent email and it bounced back. Here's what I sent. What was it with rounded edges on photos for a while? Yeah, they did do that, didn't they? They did do that. It hasn't. Oh, people. Let me just. Oh, what is going on? Let's go to drafts. Let's go to drafts. Do that. Inbox. Inbox. I will send the photos. I can do it separately in case that is what is causing bounce back. Moomin, dog walking dude, Ian Lee fan. So that's that. I'm gonna send a picture of a lovely man. Gonna send you maybe the files. No, they're not big. Let's send those. Gotta go, Ian. Goodbye. Have a good stream. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Is that going to work now? It seems to work. Did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world? So, my phone automatically download all your Beatle house pictures. Some were clearly taken at speed. Yes, I'm using a walking stick today. It's not nice being 50 and using a walking stick. Yes, I took photos of the Beatles' houses that we were not allowed to take. So they will have been uploaded to Google Drive. Let me send Catherine the link. Let me send Catherine the Zoom link. Let me send Catherine the Zoom link. Mandola, thank you so much for your sub. And did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world? Guys, I really love you. And now, so we're going to invite Catherine in. Copy invite link. I was going to play some games. Maybe we'll play some games after the show tonight. Dave, thank you for the sub. Speakers need to be that. Let me just email this to my queen. My love. Catherine Boyle. Zuma. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Mama. What was I going to do then? What was I going to do? I was going to do something. It's Pledge Week. Free shows tonight and on Friday. So I set my chair to lean back. I was going to do something then. I went there. In a local sex. I know covering about buying 50 Shades on Blu-ray. She wanted to pep him up. Oh, I was going to see if my pictures have been uploaded to the cloud. Be careful, Ian. Be careful. Did they? Yeah, they do. Be careful, Ian. You don't want people seeing stuff. Don't want people seeing stuff. You don't want them seeing stuff. We can do a little... I've got to be very careful. That's it, Jim Adebo. Thank you. So we weren't allowed to take pictures in the Beatles' houses when we went. However, I took some pictures in the Beatles' houses when we went. Have a picture! Ladies and gentlemen, would you please look? If you're there, it's John Lennon's bedroom. And then he said it's bed, but it's not technically his bed. John Lennon's bedroom. It's his bedroom. Got to be careful because there might be pictures on here I don't want you to see. Oh, that was blurry, isn't it? They are a bit blurry because we weren't supposed to take photos. John Lennon's bathroom. John Lennon's bathroom. God, they are a little bit. Now, here's a weird one. This is apparently... Yoko seems to think this is a plastic tooth, like a copy of one of John Lennon's teeth. But they think it might be a real tooth. So there's that. Here we go. This is nice. This is nice. Look, the drawing room. The drawing room. Not supposed to take these photos. But I did. No one else was taking photos. Maybe they were doing it even more surreptitiously than I. God, they are a bit blurry, aren't they? About your stay in Tokyo, you have a new message. Oh, no, come back. Oh, but got a new message about my stay in Tokyo. Thank you, Paris. No, go away. What's my message? They say, thank you for your reservation. I know the check-in time's 3 o'clock. I know the check-in time's 3 o'clock. It's where John Lennon's cat would have sat. It was so good. Paul McCartney's house, which I was surprised at how big it was. Lennon's is massive. McCartney's house was bigger than I thought. It's one of the tour guides. John Lennon's front door. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. Oh, it's John Lennon's, Paul McCartney's Ginnell. Paul McCartney's back passage. It's Paul McCartney's back passage, guys. Could be meaning bum, couldn't I? Could mean bum. That's the garden where the Paul McCartney was sat when his brother Mike took the picture for the that later became the album cover for Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. The week before, Mike, his brother, had rocked up and done a tour because he was delivering some lavender. That would have been cool to have been there for that, but 'twas not to be. This is nice. This is the room the Beatles used to rehearse in. That's something, isn't it? The room the Beatles used to rehearse in. Hello, Florida, you Floridians. Pats is still going for the snake. I should really be showing you these with Catherine. But we're early. Let's enjoy the vibe. So we weren't meant to take pictures in these houses. So yeah, some of them are quite blurry. Paul McCartney's dad's. I think it was a semi. Grow up. Paul McCartney's mum and dad's bedroom. Is there one that's not blurry? No. Paul McCartney's bedroom.
McCartney's. That's Paul McCartney's bedroom. We're not supposed to have photos of that. Not supposed to have photos of that, but I took photos. I just didn't care. There's the window. Now, let me have a little look. Is that the window? Chaos and creation. No, that was taken. No, that was taken from the kitchen. This is. I did not pinch anything. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you say that? You disgust me. No. Here we go. David Turner's. David Turner's has just joined the chat. Tonight I'm using my real voice for the first time. For the last 30 years I've been embarrassed to use my own voice. And tonight I'm going to be using my own voice for the first time. I'm hoping that you guys are okay with it and you help me feel. It was the downstairs kitchen window. I didn't take any pictures in the kitchen because I couldn't sneak a picture in the kitchen, I'm afraid. Because some of them are blown. It's Paul McCartney's. It's where Paul McCartney's bed was being in his bedroom. It's where Paul McCartney's bed was being in his bedroom. Because some of them really are blurry. Brian Epstein. There's my absolute picture of my absolute queen, the woman I am madly in love with, and Catherine. Look. Catherine was struck. I mean, that's not a great statue, is it? That's not a great statue. Catherine was struck by Scylla. So there's lots of pictures by Scylla, including that one. Holding Catherine's coat. She will, I guarantee. I'll tell you what, let's take, don't tell her. It does look like Kate Galloway. That's the name, isn't it? Let's take a sweepstake on how long it will take into the Zoom call for Catherine to do her impression of Scylla. So I will say 4 minutes past 7. Give Matt a call about the car park, definitely. I say 4 minutes past 7. Get your times in the chat now. Here's John Lennon's toilet. He had a shit on that. So shit on that. Nelly says 11 seconds. John Lennon's toilet from the one in Ascot. There's a lot. The Beatles Museum, keep those times in there. Right? Beatles Museum wasn't that good. There's a lot of. Well, here's a copy. I've bagged 704. Get your times in now. Caveman1333 says, might want to change the title. It says, the only phone in on Twitter. Why would I want to change the title when it's factually correct? Why would I want to? Ask this question of yourself, Caveman1333, and really think before you type anything else in. Why would I want to change the title? Oh, it's Twitch. Thanks, guys. Caveman1333, you've just won yourself a virtual VIP package. Congratulations. Get those times in. Get those times in, guys. Thank you. Passed the test. You passed the test. Oh, so I went up on, there's a Ferris wheel. And I went up on it. And I don't like heights, and I got terrified. As soon as we sat in it, I went, this is a terrible idea. 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 And then I remembered I've done some EM. I'm sorry, Caveman 1333. This is, I don't like, I'm in the, we sat in there and went, it's a terrible idea, and I started really getting, he totally had, oh, David, oh, David, oh, mate, I am so sorry. Oh, David, I've been owned, but you've been destroyed. Oh, David, oh, mate. Caveman 1333 has played an absolute blinder, Thate. Captain 1333 has played an absolute blinder, Thate. Why is that not close up? Why is that not close up of me? Yeah, I'm giving you grief for typos, mate. I'm giving you grief for typos. All right? You're in my kingdom now. You're in the court of King Baby. That's what's going on with you, buddy. This is going on with you, buddy. Oh, we met a very strange. That's Big Boy making noise. But very nice, very strange Japanese man in the cavern. So we had some Colombians who were taking the photo sit with us. And this guy kind of sat at the table. And during the first interval of the Cavern Beatles, I went, hello, mate, what's your name? Where are you from? And I spoke a little Japanese to him. But instead of saying, I'm going to Japan in July, I said, I went to Japan in July. Ikimashita. I went for ikimashita. Ikimashita is past tense. Ikimasu is present and future. But then he was a bit weird and he wanted pictures taken with just Catherine. And I nearly did the voice then. Oh my God. And he said, you are lucky man. Maybe one day I have a girlfriend like this. I went, dude, back off. Just back off. What are you saying? What are you saying to me? She's my business partner. It was a little bit weird, but he was nice. I like that guy. I'm just going to move that over here so I know when. I should really be showing all these with Catherine. Tell you what, when Catherine joins us, right, we'll pretend that we haven't seen the photos and we'll do it again. And she won't know until she uploads this as a podcast. Oh, I should be describing these audio descriptions for podcast people. Harold's last show, there was a video montage at the start. Nigel from Maidstone was on it. I have heard that. So I'll wait until we'll show you the Cavern Beatles when Catherine gets here. I'm trying to find. Do the videos come up? We had a great time in Liverpool. Super Saint, thank you so much for that sub. You are what is known as a legend. God, some of those pictures are awful. Roll up. Does this play? Oh, listen to this. Right, these guys are great. They're kids. Those people, they're kids. You just got to be with it. You just got to be with it, Roger. Those people were kids. I cannot stress how young they were. I can't stress it enough, right? My Zoom's gone a little bit to cock. Let's find another. They were so good. And they weren't the main tribute band. They were in the free bit. Hang on. Kids. They're great, right? Kids. So these kids, I think, were called the Beatles Complete. They were playing in the free bit. Can you keep the VOD so we can see what us latest people... What do you mean, can... Of course. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Richard Allsorts? Richard Allsorts, what on earth are you talking about? We're coming to you, Catherine. We're coming to you. Please. Catherine, you're live on the Big Brother house. Please.
Oh, how exciting. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Please don't swear. I've just been showing some pictures. Just going to hold off for a bit. Just been showing some pictures of Liddypool. And just the VOD for yesterday's is available. I've made it available. Richard, go back and check and then come back and apologise to me, please.
Uh-oh.
I've uploaded it to YouTube yesterday's, didn't I? I'm going to check. I'm showing them some of the pictures of Liverpool. Mm-hmm. And I've just shown them the Beatles Complete, the babies.
They're so good.
Weren't they?
I looked into them. Apparently they started when they were 14. So like George.
How long have they been doing it? It is yesterday's show is available, Richard, and it's uploaded to YouTube. Apology accepted. Piece
one
of
the
trash.
videos I saw of them playing at the Cavern, I'm pretty sure said it was 5 years ago. So they're babies. They were
so good. They were babies, and they were in the free bit. It doesn't go. The videos, the Twitch videos, do not go live straight away because I always have music playing in them. So, Richard, I accept your apology. Apologise to Caveman 1333 and take the heat off me. So the Cavern, there's 2 rooms, and it's a fake Cavern. There's like the music lounge, which is bigger.
Yeah.
It still ain't that big, but it's bigger. And
seats quite a lot of people, though, it turns out. Didn't look like it would, but everyone got a seat pretty much, didn't they?
But then, so after, we'll play a little clip of the Kinks with an X in a bit, because I think I've got that on here. But after that, you go into the free bit, and it's like £5 to get in there.
Yeah.
And they had different acts on, and one of them was that. So we stuck around for them. They were so good. We
were blown away. So they started out playing the sort of yeah stuff, and I thought, oh well, they're babies, and fair play, they put on a good show, but it's quite basic, I guess, comparatively. Then they played While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
That was incredible.
And they shredded it. Yeah. And then they did Get Back, didn't they? And again, brilliant.
Just played a bit of Get Back and Twist and Shout, and I wish I'd taken more video. But they weren't the main Beatles tribute act. They weren't the Cavern Beatles. Let me just see. It's a little bit tricky. Let me just see, because I'm careful. I don't want to show. There's some pictures from that trip I don't want people to see. It's private pictures. But let me just see. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to lose you for a second while I do this, so I make sure this is all.
It's all right. I'm just logging into Twitch, and it has been a while, so I need to
verify. We'll keep this verified for 30 days. Yes, obviously do. Computer. Photos. So let's go. Okay. So I've talked about the Japanese man.
I've still got my fan. I'm keeping that.
So let me just do this. If I just do this, and we'll share this screen, and I'm just going to be it's all so complicated. Let's share sound, because we will play some sound in a bit. Let me just. I can't do it. I'm so confused. Right, do that. Click on that, and then make you bigger.
Bigger still.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So there we go. There's that. I just want to show. Oh bugger! I can't do it. I wonder if I click there. There we go. I just want to show one particular picture that means a lot to me. I just want to show one very special. But before we do that, it was a great time, right? It was a good old. It was a good old time. We had a lot of fun. We did 3 nights. We booked for 4 nights, and on the last day, the penultimate day, I went, I think we've done it. Let's go home. But we and Catherine, talk to us about this picture.
Well, of course, anyone who knows their Beatles history will know that Cilla Black started out as the Coke girl at the Cavern. So I thought I'd give her a job.
And what do you think she would have said?
She'd have told me to fuck off.
And how would it have sounded if she'd have said
She would
it?
not have had a Laura laughs about it.
Okay. And so how would...
Love.
There we go!
What did you try to do
704!
with you?
704! I won the sweepstake!
What?
We had a sweepstake before you came in
What?
about what time you would do your Scylla.
but you asked me to do it.
People are saying rigged.
Anyway, I didn't finish it. It'd be, oh, love, I think it's great. You're remembering me at the Cavern Club. Surprise, surprise. You're not the first one to do that, you dirtbag.
The Twitch chat is furious. Rigged, cheat,
I
rigged,
feel
literally
like I've
affixed
been
you
a
to...
stooge. I was
Cheated
giving
you
and giving
after?
there, and you made me have it.
I did. I said 704. She did it at 704. You're a little bit glitchy, Catherine. Are you there now?
You know why? Because I
You're there
have
now.
allowed my children to use this computer, and there's loads of windows open. Let me ferme the
When you say
connect.
Windows, you mean computer windows, right?
Is
All right, let me find... I'm just going to switch because I just want to find some... Oh, I wonder if we can find... Let's find the Kinks with an X. So we got to Liverpool about 6:30 and I said, I'm really tired. It was a long drive. That was over a 4-hour drive. And I said, but we have... Sketty says, lovely Jane McDonald impression. So I said, we have to go out, right? We can't leave this till we have to go out. What's on? And there was not a lot, but Catherine said, oh, there's a Kinks tribute band at the Cavern.
yeah, it was good.
And I went, well, they'll probably be a little bit pony, but it's 12 quid. Let's go. Let's get acquainted with the Cavern. Let's go down there. If it's no good, we can leave, but let's go. We went, and they were absolutely brilliant. I'm trying to find the video. They can't see you at the moment, Catherine, because I'm just flicking through these, but
good because I can see some illegal photographs.
illegal photographs. But the Kinks were great, right?
They were so good, and I really like their stripy strides and blazers, a lot like my mod blazer that I wear. I thought they were great. They even did they fluctuated between being the actual Kinks and being an obvious brummy band.
Yeah. There's Dave Davis, who had a great wig.
Yeah.
The bass player was the coolest looking guy I've ever seen, both
was.
in the riding gear, and they came back in like sort of more 70s.
The man was
gear.
a silver fox. Let's not skirt around it.
This is Ray, and he had a soft ass. I'm just going to, well, I think I've got a little clip. Is this a clip? Here we go. Now, you know, hang on a minute. It doesn't sound that great on that. They were
great.
Absolutely they were incredible. I would go and see the Kinks with an X again. They were brilliant. It sounded like the Kinks.
As you were trying to illustrate there, he had the soft R of Ray, didn't he?
Yeah.
You got me so I can't sleep at night. But it was great. It was just so great.
And do you know what? There weren't that many people there.
No.
For it. We got seats
We were
right
treated
at the
some
front.
Scouse humour off the bat, weren't we? So we arrived, and there's
that guy
a
was
family
getting on my nerves.
sitting near the front, right? He was talking for a long time. They will talk. Should have warned you. And as we sat down, we said, "Are we all right to sit here? 'Cause is it reserved?" And he went, "It is, yeah, for you."
Yeah, but that pause was about 45
It was
seconds
really long,
of intense eye contact. It's like, come on, mate.
Classic.
Don't be a knob. I'm just trying to... oh, we go. Right. But they were absolutely brilliant. Love every second of them. Let me just go. We'll come back to that in a minute. There's our Japanese friend.
Kiko, his name said he was,
Kiko.
wasn't he?
And my hair's looking great. I'm growing my hair and I'm loving it. I need to
My
lose a
hair
little
is
bit of
looking
weight.
good, and I'm getting it cut next week. So
Yeah.
why does that always happen?
So the Kinks were great. There weren't that many people there. So there's the smaller hallway and then there's the bigger lounge. And I don't know, 60 people, 80 people for the Kinks?
Yeah.
Something like that. Then we went back the next night to see the Cavern Beatles, who are the official Beatles act of the Cavern. And it was great. My issues were not enough songs, too much. There were like these big, long, slightly dull video. Like we'd have like 10-minute video building up to them coming on. They took 2 breaks to get changed, and you'd have a long break and then another 10-minute video of like the Blitz and people doing that and that footage, putting flowers in soldiers' guns and all that crap you've seen so many
Historical
times.
context, man. That's what it's called.
They were incredible. First of all, they sounded like the Beatles. Every single one of them sounded like them. John Lennon looked absolutely like him. The nose,
He had
everything.
the straight nose. He had the right eyes. He had the longer face.
He did all the
spot on.
faces and all the clapping and stuff. He did all that stuff as well, but very kind of subtly as he was turning away. He would do it. He was great. Let's have a quick look at Paul, who sounded...
Let's remember, it's about the sound more than the look.
Yeah.
Attempts were made.
Okay, there's Paul. So there's Paul.
Garlic bread.
And there's... Well, you kept saying it was Alan Partridge.
Well, he kept doing this face. He kept doing what I think was supposed to be the George face.
Yeah.
But it was more of a Alan Partridge trying to be sexy face.
I've got to see what other photos we got. So, so there's... Dave Dogface, Deputy Dog impression. Yes, I thought he looked like Eddie Large. I thought he looked
Actually,
like
I
Eddie
sent
Large.
the picture to my sister, and that was what she came back with as well. Oh, God.
They sounded... They had a 5th guy playing keyboards who should have been dressed up as Sir George Martin. That I thought was a big misstep. And then I tried to capture... Then they got changed.
He got mustachio, didn't he, George?
And he
turned
became
into...
Tony Farino. He became Tony Farino.
Doing the face.
There we go.
No, I know that George had teeth, and especially at the beginning of his career, he had let's just say he had 60s teeth, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, that sent me every time.
I didn't get any footage. I thought I'd filmed a little bit of them. I didn't film it. If you ever get the chance to see the Cavern Beatles, jump on it. Although we're off to see the Analogues in September or October. I managed to blag. Oh! Where are you? Quiet bloke.
What did you do?
Quiet bloke made a very generous donation.
Thank you so much.
Which hasn't shown up here. He sent it separate ways. Thank you, quiet bloke. So then
see if I've got any footage of the Beatles, but let me continue.
So then, that was Friday night. We crammed so much in, full on tourist. We went on the Magical Mystery Tour, hosted by Holly Johnson's Quiet Bloke. Thank you, mate. Thank you. It's never expected, and it's always, every time it comes, it's like, oh my God. So thank you very much for your donation. It's appreciated. I don't know why it's not shown up on here. We went on the Magical Mystery Tour, hosted by Holly Johnson's older brother. Now,
Jay.
this is the tank top, very similar tank top to the one Paul McCartney wears in Magical Mystery Tour. No one, not even the driver, not even the guide, recognised it. No one recognised it. What was great is we stopped at 4 places. We drove past the pub from Sentimental Journey. Where did we stop? At George Harrison's house, which was weird.
We did. And you had to go down a sort of little side street, and it's a residential house with a UPVC door, and people were getting their pictures taken next to it.
That was weird.
That did feel a bit intrusive. We didn't stop at Ringo's because it really is a residential street, isn't it?
Yeah. We stopped outside McCartney's house, which we'd already been in the day before with the National Trust.
Yeah.
We stopped outside Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields. As we stood outside Strawberry Fields, hang on a second. Let me see what pictures we've got here. Oh, why haven't I got any pictures of Strawberry Fields? Oh, maybe you took them.
Maybe
they've not uploaded. Anyway,
I'll send them over to you.
Don't worry about it.
Send them on an email or no?
No. It'll be tricky to show. Don't worry. These are just on the cloud. Let me get rid of that. Just when screen sharing has stopped as the shared window is closed. I want to make sure that we're all safe and sound. But as we were stood at Strawberry Fields, a car drove past. What did they shout as, Catherine?
Bus wankers!
And then they stopped a little bit up, and I really should have walked up and knocked on the window.
You and Jay Johnson were tempted, and he's quite a big lad, so I think together you would have been quite a sight.
Because it would have been funny. But then we got on the bus and we said to the driver, they called us bus wankers. He went, what? I said, bus wanker. What? They said that? I said, have you seen the In-Betweeners? He went, no. I went, don't worry, it's not an insult. So what was nice, though, was we stood at the Penny Lane sign. And then I checked my Twitter about half an hour later, and someone went, I've just driven past Ian Lee and Catherine Boyle at the Penny Lane sign. Ian's wearing his McCartney Magical Mystery Tour tank top, which I thought was lovely.
Yeah. And then we went to Fourth Lynn Road, and we were standing outside for a bit. And the guide that we'd met the day before, Andy, remarked upon your tank top, didn't he?
He saw it. And also I've been having a conversation with the young lad that was the warm-up for the Cavern Beatles. I mean, what was his name? It was Johnny somebody.
And he sang Chaz and Dave.
Johnny Parry. He was excellent. You know, you're an acoustic guitar guy playing in the Cavern, opening up for the Beatles. That's a tough old gig. Totally had them in the palm of his hand. He was brilliant. I enjoyed that. First evening there, we get in the hotel 6:30. By 7:15, we're on Matthew Street, which is where it all is. Having our picture taken by the John Lennon statue. What happened next, Catherine?
Fella comes out of a pub, of which there are a few down there.
An old guy, late 50s.
Yeah.
Drunk.
Oh, Mr. Morris. Hello, welcome.
I went, what?
Was his hand out? Let me shake you by the hand.
I went, what? And he went, Ian Morris. Now,
Mr.
I know a bloke called Ian Morris. Used to work on the 11 o'clock show. Wrote and produced, along with Damon Beasley, The In-Betweeners, which we've referenced already. And I thought, how would he know Ian Morris? And how would he know that I know him? So I was confused. And he said, what was it? The Day Today. I went, oh, no. You've mixed two people up. You're thinking of Chris Morris. I'm Ian Lee. I did the 11 o'clock show. And he went, oh, yeah. And then
he was thrilled to bits. It
didn't
diminish his thrill at having seen a famous person.
I was thrilled. I like getting recognised. It's very flattering. And I
didn't tell you, by the way, when we went on the ferry across the Mersey, you remember there was that couple there, this Scottish woman with cool hair.
She did have cool hair, didn't she? And I know I saw them doing it because I stood watching for a while.
Oh, right. So she nudged up to me when you went to the toilet.
Yep.
And said, please forgive me, but I recognise him from the telly. Can you just remind me who it is?
It's Mr. Morris to you.
I did. I said, it's Ian Morris.
I had someone DM me, actually. Oh, maybe I've deleted. Where did that go? Oh, no, someone didn't DM me. They posted on one of my pictures on Insta. Kesbomb 2000. We were on the Mersey ferry yesterday when you were on. Hope you enjoyed it. It's Kesbomb 2000.
Well, I hope they weren't the person responsible for that terrible incident.
So, as you know, I can't poo away from my home. And it just doesn't happen. And it's still not really released itself since then. Twisty, you're going to get a slap for that.
But it's what you've said.
I'm Ian Lee, the one who took what Chris Morris did and extended it. There used to be a guy, I said in an interview once during the 11 o'clock show, but that was not the full sentence. The full sentence was, I mean, Lee, the one who took. The full sentence was, well, what we do with 11 o'clock shows, we take what Chris Morris did and we expand it and we make it more populist, right? Basically, we're saying we dumb it down, and they didn't put that bit in. And there used to be this guy who would tweet all the time, and he was, for like years, he was on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And he would keep tweeting that, and I kept saying, you know that's not the full quote because I've told you that, right? And I said, I was 25, I regret saying it, it was a dumb thing to say, but also that's not the full quote. That's the thing they chose. And then I blocked him about 3 years ago because he said something, and I went, you know, that could be taken as really rude. He went, yeah. Why did I block you 20 years ago? So thank you, Twisty, whose wife has recorded a song with Tommy Cannon. But yeah, it's not one of my favourite lines. But yeah, so I don't poo when I'm away very often. So we were in a cafe waiting to get on the ferry, next to the ferry, and I went to use the toilets at the ferry. Now, gentlemen will know this. You walk in, and there were 2 cubicles and 4 urinals, except the urinals were around a corner, and I was queuing to use the cubicle. And when men come in and see a queue, they think everyone's queuing for the urinals if they can't see the urinals. Anyway, so there was 2 people at the urinals, 1 person in front of me for the queue, and 2 people in the cubicles. One went in when I was there, 2 people. And then you hear in one of the cubicles, oh, fart, water dropping, dirty water dropping. Oh,
I don't think that was
Don't
dirty
worry.
water. I think it
It's
was
fine,
warm
Twisty.
gravy, mate.
It's fine, Twisty, don't worry. And I,
He had been gone for about. I knew that he needed to go to the loo. He went off and he came back in a flash, and you went, I cannot sit there and listen to that.
someone laughed, and I went, no. And I walked
A
out.
line was drawn.
It was disgusting. But then he was. No, the surprise was kind of it was it was like surprise but
A pleasant
gleeful.
surprise.
Surprise but gleeful.
And then afterwards,
was
we
horrible.
were looking at everyone on the ferry plane pooed on it.
I have real issues, and I don't say this very often. I don't like fart humor. I don't like the word fart. I don't like everything about it makes me very, very uncomfortable. I don't like it. But I knew I had to recount this story to that lady sat on my left-hand side, Miss Catherine Boyle. I did not expect this
I'm still finding
reaction.
it hilarious.
And that was when we decided we should go home. And that was it. That was Liverpool. It was great. If you're a fan, go and do it. I reckon 3 nights is all you need. Nelly says it's a very British thing to be toilet self-conscious. In France, violent toilet noises are almost an Olympic sport.
I know that. I told you that story about when I was at university in France,
Go
and I
on.
went to the loo, and it was a very silent ladies' toilet. Silent. No, I didn't think anyone else was there.
Just going
And
to
then I
tweet
heard
that we're
this
live
woman,
now.
And honestly, to God, she sounded like she was giving birth. There was lots of groaning, and also kind of she was having a terrible time.
I don't like toilet humour, and I do not like talk about farts.
Oh God. And yet
here we are. If you're a Beatles fan, go. 3 nights. Go. It's the best thing. And well, the National Trust houses, it was like 60 quid or something a ticket, which is, is not cheap, but totally worth it. I found it very,
once, right?
very moving. Yeah, I found it very moving.
did.
You think Lennon was in that house when he was 15. He had 25 years left.
Yeah. And both of them have very, very different vibes. So you go to Lennon's house, the Mendips, it's Mimi's place. She was coming up in the world. She was very,
Massive.
very proper, and she wanted things to look good. She didn't let people in the front door. Everyone came around the side unless they were, a VIP. And you did really feel as you came in through that kitchen door, you felt like, now wipe your feet, otherwise you're in trouble. It was very formal, actually, wasn't it? And then you go to Fourth Lynn Road, the McCartney's house, and straight away it was warm, wasn't it? And, Jim had moved everything out of the dining room once his wife had died because they weren't using it for dining anymore. They didn't eat like that. And that was the boys' music room.
That was the room.
And there was a phone in there. It was the only phone in the street because, of course, Mary was a district nurse, so it came with the job. But also, of course, John Lennon used that to its fullest when he got round there and there was no adults there. He used to go through the phone book and phone the teachers, apparently.
Jim Adebo says, I once heard a fella shout, "Oh, Christ!" before the horrendous sound of a tom tit in a Brighton pub toilet.
Like he'd been caught by surprise.
Lennon's house had a servant bell, didn't it? I don't know about that,
Yes.
but did it have a bell? It certainly had...
It had the lights.
Yes.
So it had the lights, the sort of the display cabinet thing where it shows the lights of which room is ringing.
Yes.
And Andy did mention that.
Had
He
an
said
intercom.
He said that a light would come on. And can you imagine John pressing the button demanding cups of tea?
In McCartney's house, their dad had wired up the gramophone to headphones in the boys' bedroom so they could listen to the gramophone in their bedrooms.
Yeah. And also in the wardrobe of the bedroom that was both boys' room until Paul moved out into the smaller box room, that's where Mike used to do his dark room. You have a sort of tiny miniature dark room in there and process his photographs, and that's kind of all been set up. It's beautifully done. It really is. It feels like you've nipped in while the family's out. That's the way it feels.
So someone said, do you book it as a package? Well, no, we booked a hotel, it was a shit hotel and it was way too expensive because we left it to the last minute. As my
It was
bad.
bank holiday, Eurovision's coming up. All in all, it was an expensive weekend.
But if I'd have booked it a month earlier, it was £100 cheaper.
Yeah.
And then we did it all. We got the tickets for the Cavern on the day. Booked the Magical Mystery Tour in advance because that goes sharpish. Booked the National
hardest
Trust.
point, paying the flipping Merseyflow toll.
That was tough.
My
right?
God, it took me 2 days to be able to pay online for £2.
That was tough. It was tough scenes.
It was scenes.
I think I've set it up so that we can take phone calls tonight. If people want to call, I think it will probably mean you can't see Catherine on screen because it will involve screen sharing. So it'll just be me on screen. But if people want to call up, I think it will work. 0203 286 6370 is the telephone number. If you want to give a call, and I will probably miss your call, but I will call you straight back. So that is Liddypool. Finished. Done. It was a long old drive. Oh, the food is actually in is it called the Beatles bar opposite the Cavern?
The Cavern.
Cavern bar. And if you think, oh, this is going to be shit and expensive, very reasonably priced and excellent food. If that had been London, the burger's like 14 quid, 15 quid, which I think is okay for me. If that had been in London, you would have got, John's Beatles burger would have been 22 quid and it would have been crap.
Yeah.
This stuff was
great. Also, if you do the Magical Mystery Tour, you get money off in there.
15% off, isn't it?
15%. And you also get
free entry to the Cavern Club. If you remember to bring the card with you, Catherine.
But we'd been by then, so we were on our way
But
home.
we could have popped in there to see what artist was playing.
We could have.
Oh, a cat's just jumped on me. Her name is Patty. Welcome to the free show. It's a free show tonight. It's a free show on Friday. People always say, oh, it's great to have you back on Twitch. Where have you been? We've been doing 2 shows a week for coming up to for a year. And you can come and watch the shows for as little as £4.99 plus VAT a month. Even with the VAT, it's the price of 2 coffees, 2 large coffees in a Starbucks. All you do, the link is going to appear in the chat. If you're listening to the podcast, you go to patreon.com/IAIN and Catherine with a K. Ian and Catherine. Patreon.com/ I said that in a really weird way. Sorry. Ian and Catherine. You go on there, you have a little look at the tiers, and you click on one that you like, you subscribe, and it would be gratefully appreciated. Please, patreon.com/Ian and Catherine. You get 2 shows a week generally. We're taking a couple of weeks off in July and possibly a week off in June. And and you get to watch 2 shows a week. You get 2 podcasts a week from those shows, and you get access. Get this, right? To over 2,000. Why is that doing that? That's weird, isn't it? That was weird. To over 2,000 hours worth of video and audio.
This is true. We
for
don't
$4.99 plus VAT a month. I mean, it is ridiculously good value, and I don't understand why we're not making millions. And it's Pledge Week, Caterfer reminds me. So there's a couple of ways you can help. There's 3 ways you can help, and we will remind you of these throughout the night. So, number 1, you sign up to the Patreon that we've just said. That is the best way to help us, right? And the best value for you. And probably not this week, but the weekend after, we're going to do the £15 meetup for the Zoom. So that's one. Go to the Patreon. 2, and this is free, and it helps us. If you have Amazon Prime, link your Amazon Prime to your Twitch, and then subscribe to this, different from Patreon, subscribe to Twitch for free. Don't pay for the subscription to Twitch, it's con. But you can get it for free with your Amazon Prime. Link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch. You get 1 free sub a month. Give it to us. And I'm going to be doing more gaming podcasts because I'm really enjoying doing those. The 3rd way is Pledge Week. You can donate. You can... Big boy, stop being a knob. You can donate. And if you're looking, there's the link. If you click on that link and donate, and every penny helps, this is our job. If you're listening to the podcast, you can go to paypal.me/Ian Lee. paypal.me/IAINLEE. Every donation gets split 50-50. This is our job. As you know, some of you know, I've quit broadcasting. I'm now working full-time as a counsellor. Doesn't cover all the bills. Catherine is in between jobs at the moment, so this is her only source of income at the moment. That will change at some point soon, I'm sure. And every penny counts. So thank you. The Patreon gets split 50-50. The donos get split 50-50. And consider it tipping your waiters. That's how I've labelled it up there. Tip your waiters. If you've ever enjoyed anything we've ever done, any of the shows I ever did, the 11 o'clock show or Rise or LBC or anything that we may have done together, any of our podcasts, Jesus Christ, we saved 2 people's lives live on air. 2. People don't know about this. People don't remember the second one. We did it a second time. And then we saved a handful off air.
Yeah.
So donate. Every penny is gratefully received. This is our job. It's not like we're doing a little hustle. This is our job. 0203 286 6370. I think we don't normally take phone calls when Catherine is elsewhere, but I think we can make it work tonight. So I was out with Dave Dogface today in Aylesbury.
I saw that he tweeted about the wonderful David Bowie statue of which he is so fond.
He was playing a famous song today.
Was it?
Never. And anyway, we're outside having a coffee, and I looked over and I said, Dave, I saw 3 old people, a man and 2 women. I said, Dave, are those 2 old women twins? And are they also wearing identical clothes? And he looked over and he went, yup. It was 2 old women in their late 60s and an old boy in his late 60s. Either there's some effed up family or there's some dirty, weird swinging going on. And they were twins, slightly different hair. That was the only thing. Dressed up in, I think they had like stripy tops, like white and red stripes, and sort of like body warmers, gilets kind of vibe going on. Old twins, weird. Old twins in the same clothing. Weird. That's messed up, right?
We have twins in our family. That it runs in our family. I've got cousins that are twins. My mother was a twin. Unfortunately, her twin's no longer with us. And there were twins every generation before. So we were very worried. My set of cousins, we've been very worried. So far, the twins have not arrived. Maybe it's going to skip a generation. Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, twins. But they were not identical twins. They were actually very different people. And my mum and her sister didn't even really look like sisters at certain points in their lives. But I do know that now my mum is a single child, she's got sisters, but she hasn't got a twin anymore. She feels weird. She feels weird.
Dave says the song was changes. The twins were exactly identical. Different haircut was the only giveaway as to which was which. Yeah, that must be weird. Losing a twin.
Yeah. Well, they were just referred to by everyone as the twins.
The twins.
Forever.
That
Forever.
is part of your identity.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you to Drapsy. Drapsy's tipped £3. Thank you, Drapsy. It's
Thank you,
very
Drapsy.
kind. Very kind of you. Yeah, the twins.
I don't think they would have ever gone to the extent of dressing the same.
That was what was strange, wasn't it, Patty? Patty? It was strange that they would dress the same.
The problem that my mum once had with a twin mix-up scenario was when they were kids playing in the street, one of them, my Auntie Nora, it's alleged, dropped the F-bomb. One of the neighbours heard it and grassed up the twins. Both twins got done for it.
Jim Adebo says, I know of twins who share a partner. Swear it's true. There's a celebrity pair of twins who did similar, apparently.
I've seen those. I've seen those twins. They're Australian twins, and they apparently share a boyfriend. I don't believe it.
You would sometimes hear, back in the day, ooh, mother and daughter. Whoa.
But that requires you doing it with your mum there.
Yeah.
Come on.
No. That is not right. That is not good behaviour. Wow. Listen,
I suspect that's part of the thing, isn't it? It's the taboo a bit.
Hold the line, because I think I can. Right, I've got to work. Alistair, stay there, because I've just got to work out how to do it so that Catherine can. Alistair, I'm going to cut you off.
As long as I can hear, doesn't matter if you can
I'm going to
see,
I'm going to find a way of doing it. Hang on. I'm going to find a way of doing it, and it's going to. Right, so this might work. Hang on. So if we do that, if I drag that across, share, so you can see the telephone, but I don't know if you'll be able to hear Alistair because I'm sharing a different screen. So then we go to Zoom screen. This may not work, and we may have to just do something that's not quite as good. So Alistair, I'm now going to call you. Can you hear the Skype noise?
Yes.
You can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to work. Why have we never done this before? George's woman says, I knew a mum and daughter. Hang on a minute, Alistair. This is a phone call to get. George's. Are you listing your internet search history? Why did you see something you weren't meant to see? It's quite possible. I'm a bloke living on his own. George's woman says, I knew a mum and a daughter who did that with the same guy whilst people were in the room next door.
I think when they say about your search history, they're talking about this particular niche, let's just say.
Oh, okay. I'm not knocking one out to this, although I'm a bloke living on my own. Sometimes I have to be careful about what comes up in the bar. Alistair, I think we might be able to make this work.
Hi, Catherine, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Over.
No. Okay, well, no.
Oh, hang on. You can't hear Catherine.
Doesn't matter. I'll be quiet.
No, it doesn't matter.
That's what the problem was before. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, as long as she can hear me, that's the main thing, isn't it?
I will pass on any messages from Catherine. I knew there was a reason we hadn't done it before, and that's it. You can't hear them. They can't hear you. That's it.
Good. Anyway, I'm glad you seem to enjoy Liverpool.
It was
weekend.
Absolutely brilliant. Catherine, if you've got anything to say, let me know, and I will pass it on to Alistair.
I'm giving you the double Mac of thumbs up.
Now, you were talking about twins, right? And,
hang on 1 second. Hang on. Catherine, say something. Alistair, can you hear me now? No. Right, hang on. Alistair, can you hear me now? No. Alistair, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Catherine, say something.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Bollocks. Right, one more. Okay, that's not going to work. All right, yes, Alistair, sorry, no more interruptions. Let's do this.
Okay. Right, so it reminds me of the fact that I started watching a new series on Amazon Prime called Dead Ringers, which I don't know if you've seen the original film, Ian, Dead Ringers,
I remember
about twins.
No, I don't remember the
Yes,
film.
with
Hang on,
Jeremy Irons.
Catherine's talking.
Jeremy Irons was in that, was he?
Jeremy Irons was in that, was he?
Yes, that's
Yes.
correct.
That is correct. I don't need to do
But
that.
they've totally revamped it as they do. They've made it into a series rather than a film, and they've made Rachel Weisz is the or White. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. They're the twins, two of them, and I got sort of into the second episode, but I couldn't watch it anymore. In
Why? Tell me why.
well, they've made Rachel and her twin. They deliver babies, right? And they show very, I would say, realistic graphic images of women giving birth. And I don't know, it just wasn't for me, that kind of thing. But
we all came from there. We all return there if we're lucky.
We don't return there.
If we're lucky. Both Richard and I went to Time Out, Morais 23. Well done.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like my cup of tea, if I'm honest, Alistair. I do recommend Jury Duty because I now know two people who have seen the last episode and both said...
I've seen it now.
You've seen the last episode?
Yeah. It's brilliant. Absolutely
No
superb,
spoilers, but it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I wondered...
Steady.
I just wondered whether or not it was, the guy who's supposed to not know anything about the process, whether or not that was a real thing.
Yeah.
Because he was so just going along with everybody else, and how well everybody else did it round him.
The thing I found out with the 11 o'clock show is you can push people so much further than you think you can push people in terms of weirdness, in terms of what they will accept as reality. But also, because a lot of that stuff was filmed when he wasn't there. You know, it is more of a sitcom.
Yeah.
You know, the lot of the pieces to camera and a lot of the kind of stunty stuff was done when he wasn't there. I do have my Jorf T-shirt that someone printed up for me, bootleg material. I got a Jorf T-shirt, and I don't care who's offended by it. But it's such a good show. Go! I'm watching it. I've watched some of them again with Catherine, and it's one of those things you can watch straight away again. I loved it.
Tell you, one of my favourite characters in it is the youngish woman who wants to develop a friendship with the nerdy guy.
She's so good.
She is absolutely brilliant.
I think she's quite a well-known comedian.
Yeah, I think I've seen she's in IMDb on a number of things. She's done quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she, I mean, they all did brilliant. The judge, I mean, the judge guy was like,
what a nice man. What a nice man. And he's a lawyer. He was a lawyer. That was his that was his background. So he had not been a judge, but he'd worked in courts. And what a nice guy. All of it. Perfect. Everyone, let's not say anymore because I'm worried I'm going to give something away. No. Everyone go and watch Jury Duty. It's like 8 episodes. It's just beautiful. Really, really beautiful.
For you to watch.
Alistair, go on.
I'll just say one thing very quickly.
Yes, sir.
I was thinking about the old days, Ian.
Oh, yeah.
And you used to come up with some cracking lists.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yep.
I've got a list suggestion.
Go on.
Right. Best intros for your favourite. Best favourite intros for singles.
All right. I know mine straight away. I'll go first. I'll go second. I'll go second. Catherine, you're coming up. I'm where you've been a bit quiet.
I will go with Don't Get Fooled Again by The Who.
Won't Get Fooled Again.
Yep. That's my favourite one. Yeah.
What's the intro? Remind me of the intro.
It's got that sort of electronic thing he did.
Oh,
It starts with that sort of up and down electro stuff. A very early one that Townsend
yes.
had done
He put the
experimentation.
birth dates of the Who into a computer, and that's what came out. I will do mine. It's true. I'll do mine. And Catherine is. And mine is great because it's got 2 intros on one record. Right? It's Daydream Believer. The first intro is 7A. What number's this, Chip? 7A. Oh, okay. Know what it means, man. Just because I'm short, I know. So that's the first bit. And then it goes into the greatest intro in pop, that piano.
Yeah.
So that, for me, is that. That's Barbara O'Reilly that you're talking about, not I Won't Get Fooled Again. Catherine, your favourite intro plays?
Mine starts like this. Give me a mother loving beat.
What?
And then it goes.
She's swearing.
And then it goes. Hoo, 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 hoo.
And she's doing the noise of a cat being sick.
You know that?
No,
You know
what
that
song
one?
is that?
Hang on, I'll find it for you. Hang on.
She's going to
Here we
find
go.
it. She's going to play it. I will have to
Ignore-
sing it to you, Alistair.
Ignore this. This is just YouTube.
Here we go.
Here it
Hang on.
comes.
Here we go.
You know it?
What? No, I can't hear it. Nothing's coming out. Literally nothing's coming out, Catherine.
You know why? Because it's not set for music. Never works, does it?
There should be this little box you can click on in the top
Hang on.
left window.
One moment, please.
It's not going very well, Alistair.
All right.
It's,
Well,
Let me go.
so you put the phone down, then you can hear it when she gets to play it.
Yeah.
okay.
Let's-
All
Have
right,
a good
mate.
show.
Thank you, mate. See you later on.
Bye.
Chows and chows. Okay.
Right. One moment. I'll find it. All right. Let me go big. Oh. Right. Hang on. Full screen. You reckon left, or is it on the?
On mine, on the top left-hand corner, there's a little green tick, and it says "Original Sound for Musicians." Off. I've clicked it. Off. On.
Mine's
Just-
got a green shield with a tick in it. Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
and then next to it, it says "Original Sound." Mine says "Original Sound." Maybe it's because I'm the host.
I think it might be. Never mind. I'll tell you what it was. It's Buffalo Stance by Nena Cherry.
I can't read your name. Multi-Ice, I believe, says, just out of curiosity, what is the blue and silver object behind Catherine's shoulder? Looks kind of funky.
It is kind of funky. It's a 1960s record player. It's a Dansette.
It's a good one.
Mhm.
And I've got one there.
In red.
And it's got a couple of Beatles albums next to it, and it's got a Beatles album on it. And when I'm sometimes between clients to kind of break the spell, I will go and put that on very, very loudly and play it.
And this is my default, and it has been for some time.
So if you want to Innovisions. My latest list, and I've been playing this with Catherine, words that are spelt the same that are pronounced differently.
Mm-hmm.
I had another one, present and present.
Yes. License and license? No, that's the
You
same.
said that exactly the same. But that's part of the fun, because in your head you go, oh, they're different. Then you say it out loud, and you go, oh, oh, they're the same. Let me just paste. Can I paste this? There we go. Oh, we've had some money donated. Who
thank
donated? Super Saint, £20. Dave Dogface, £10. Oh, for the coffee. I'll buy your coffee, you silly sod. I'll buy your coffee. But thank you. So we've had Drapsy, we've had Quiet Bloke, Dave, and Super Saint. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Saturday we're having a coronation picnic, barbecue. And you coming over, Kath? I've got the
Yeah.
boys.
Do you want me to bring some bunting?
Yeah, do bring some bunting. I bought the coronation Colin the caterpillar cake.
I've ordered some royal masks.
Kat, thank you for the sub. And I will be. We're gonna have it on telly all day. Boys will be playing Fortnite and all that crap. I am said to the boys today. Heteronyms. You're right. Well done, Gallus. First time chat. What a thing on Twitch to come in with. First time chat. Those are heteronyms. Absolutely bob on. That is the best contribution. That is the best first contribution in a Twitch chat ever. And I said to the boys, I will be making you pledge allegiance. So I'm totally doing all of that crap. Love it. People are annoyed with Nick Cave because he's going. And he said, if I'd been younger, I probably wouldn't have. But, you know, that guy was a bit of an idiot. I'm a curious older man who got very emotional when the Queen died, and I have no idea why. So, yeah, I'm going. Alistair's not going to take the oath.
Would you go?
Coward.
You were invited.
To the coronation?
Yeah.
Of course I would. We were in Windsor today, and we could hear some of the musical rehearsals because that's where the concert's taking place, so we could hear some of that.
Stirring stuff.
Yeah. No, of course I would go. You know, if I got offered an MBE, yes. Who cares what's happening in Biafra? Yes, I would go. That will be my thing. Look at you scum in the chat. But no, you're not scum. And I'm not a royalist. You know, I think there is a sense of obscenity when people are starving to feed their kids. I get it. I would still go. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd still go. We're going to do about it. Welcome to the show.
Our very own royal knees up.
We're going to have our very own royal knees up. Welcome to the show. Patreon.com/Ian and Catherine. If you want to see more of these, we do 2 of these a week generally. And you can watch them live. You can watch them back. They're behind a paywall. They're on YouTube. You don't know what the link is until you sign up at $4.99 plus VAT. And you also get access to over 2,000 hours of shows, both video and audio. Thank you, Caitifer. The link is in the chat. It is our job. It is appreciated. And if you're listening to the podcast, patreon.com/Ian and Catherine, patreon.com/IAIN and Catherine with a K. It's one of the 3 ways you can support us. I will tell you the other 2 throughout the show. What you got, Boiler?
I've just had an email and message from someone who's helping me out with a thing, and I'm quite all right. Well, here's the thing. You may have seen on Twitter, if you're an avid follower of mine on Twitter, that I've been
Dave, I'll call you back in a minute.
Thinking about going into education because I did some lecturing recently and it went really well and I enjoyed it and I got a real kick out of it.
You mean going back and working in education?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I was sort of toying with it. I would need to be doing something where I was earning while I can't, you know, I've got kids to support. I can't be taking 2 years out or whatever it will take to get a different qualification, and there are different things you can do. So I've had loads of brilliant advice, and thanks to everyone who sent me some advice through. I've also had some terrible horror stories telling me not to bother.
But that's not what you asked for, was it? You asked for
No.
this is the thing that annoys us both a lot. You asked for a very specific question. I did enjoy your tweet today to a regular contributor to the show who I makes me chuckle a lot, who said for whatever I talked about doing a Beatles podcast, and they said, yeah, do you know, I've never listened to a Beatles album all the way through. I don't know what the fuss is. And you said, what else haven't you done that you don't like, or something like that? But then he replied, dunking biscuits. Anyway, sorry, your reply made me laugh a lot. Carry on. I interrupted.
Someone got in touch with an actual lead act, so I'm going to teach a lesson on Friday. And I'm just trying to get the angle right, because I don't know how much these kids already know, and I don't want to go in and teach them to suck eggs if it's not an egg sucking class. So I'm just getting some tips through as to what they might be into, but I think I know what I'm going to do. I've only got half an hour, so I'm hopefully going to make them laugh a bit. That's my plan. And inspire a little bit and make them feel like they can do something creative with what can seem like a very old-fashioned medium. Oh, it's radio, by the way. It's radio teaching. So that's what I'm going to do.
What do you mean, don't ask me why I chose this MFI? What does that mean? I know what MFI is, but I don't. Because I wish you the very best of luck. You need a break.
Something's got to give, my friend. Something has got to give. And it's tricky out there. And there's going to be more people coming out at the end of what they thought were solid broadcasting careers, not quite knowing what to do with their lives.
MFL, Modern Foreign Languages.
Yeah.
More Eyes 23 says, Ian, any more info about your ADHD group in June? Yeah, I'm doing a 5-week ADHD course. Still don't know what the right word is. It's not support group. Mardista's here. We can start now. And it's sold out. It's sold out, and I'm now spending a lot of time worrying about it because I've now got to come up with a thing, even though I've probably got twice as much stuff that I need. But I'm reading books and I'm making notes and I'm coming up with headings and stuff like that. But imposter syndrome is kicking in, which is a big thing with ADHD. So that's fully booked. The plan is to see how it goes. Do another one later in the year because I had a lot of people that kind of wanted to take part, but were a bit late. And also, I'm aware it might be out of some people's price range. So I want to look at possibly doing like a kind of like a scholarship, maybe having a space for someone who can't afford it. I need to look at that. But also, I want to look at how I can do something that is more affordable for people. Because this is my job, you know. So I want to see if I can, and I'm thinking of doing, you know, like a Zoom talk where it's like 10 or 15 quid or something, and you do a 90-minute talk and stuff like that. And then it struck me today as well, and I'm just holding off because I like shiny things of maybe starting up a Facebook page, but I'm just holding off and seeing where that idea is in a week. David comes up with a great idea. How about a talent show and the winner gets a free slot? Yeah. I think that's a great idea. Jim Adebo says it's something you're passionate about, and I'm sure you'll smash it. I'm very, very nervous, and I've now got 5 weeks to worry about it. And the nerves is because people have paid money, top dollar for this. And, you know. So transformations going on. I'm just going out of focus. Transformations, Catherine, going on in our lives.
Yeah. And for the class I'm planning, I'm going to play them some clips, some funny clips. You know, the gist of it being you can be creative and you can be funny and you can make connections with your audience without making them angry or making them frightened, which seems to be the key at the moment. And actually, laughter is very powerful. People don't remember, as Maya Angelou once said, people don't remember what you said, they remember how you made them feel, right? And if you make an audience laugh, if you make someone laugh, they'll come back in the hope that you'll make them feel that way again. And we've had examples of really serious things happening, people calling us in their hour of need because we've been that voice for them when we did the late night show in particular. They found that connection with us, and it's generally because we've been daft with them. We've played. So I'm thinking I'm going to do something like that. And I've been through some clips, and we have done some really funny things, you know, from from hide and seek. Do you remember we played hide and seek with the listeners?
Oh, yeah, I went and hid out by the bins in a building opposite the station. Yeah.
I hid in the shower at Talk Radio. Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a clip of Andre hiding under his duvet, and you can hear he's all muffled. It was brilliant. Then there was the Do You Drive, Jeff, of course, where a fella rings up to tell you about people tailgating him.
Do you drive? I'm 81. The question was, do you drive fast? Do you drive? Yes. No, hang on a minute. Do you drive? Yes, I do. Wait for me to finish.
This went on for ages. And then, of course, there was the times when people have rung up to play because they know we're playful, right? So we've got the kid, Steve, who made out that he was his own teacher and took it quite a long way. Do you remember? We were talking about it the other week, weren't we? We listened to the clip.
I remember the puppy foals.
Puppy foal guy. Yeah, he was having some woman trouble, wasn't he? And then, of course, there was the famous fast running uncle, Keith. Yeah.
Yeah, we had some fun. I'm glad I'm out of that shit though. I'm glad I'm out of that. I mean, we're doing this here, so it's like not quite out of it.
When we were allowed to do our own thing and when we were being left alone and overlooked, it was great. It was when people started to notice that was the problem, when we didn't start to align with the rest of the lineup.
Roger says, I always say this, but I'm still sad that fun, creative, funny radio like what you both did is effectively dead. Yeah, Bezik's got a little bit longer, as I knew he would, but there's a lot of Blondie being played in that. You know, that show's kind of dead, really. The Who's Next quiz was brilliant. Don't remember that. Boyd only lasted a few weeks at that pretend radio station.
Can't do it without callers, though, can you? And if there's no publicity behind it,
Well, also, yeah, I know that. That's exactly what I had at Jack. I tried. Rogbet says, if Ian was offered a job by GB News, would he take it? Well, now there's a question. I can see I can see a chance where I would, but that would be them saying, "Okay, we're going to pay you £5,000 a night." Yes, I would take it. I hope that answers your question. Did you see Rees Mogg and some other twat refusing to leave? Well, what they were calling a studio, but it was a broom cupboard because of the controlled explosion. Did you see that?
I heard a little bit of it, but I do go out of my way to ignore those people.
It's brilliant. And people have gone, there is nothing more British than these guys not being fazed by an explosion. No, there's nothing more stupid. I want a police, not Mogg, but the other goes, I want a police officer to come in and explain why we have to end this. There's an explosion just gone off.
They're a little bit busy, mate, but yeah, it's all about you.
Are you ordering us to leave? You're ordering us to leave. You're ordering us. He's ordering us.
Not like Rees Mogg to be hiding in a cupboard pretending that what's happening isn't really happening.
Krusty says, I started tuning in
like the 21st century.
The war phoning game. That was good. War was good. Made that up completely on the spot. Sometimes you'd have shows, I think, I've got nothing to do. And then as soon as the mic went live, I went, all right, we're going to play war. Get me a big bit of paper. We're going to have war.
That game of hide and seek came out of a phone call from... Who's that really lovely young lad that we used to talk to a lot? And he's gone to university now. He's got like a Welsh name.
Oh, Eben.
Eben, right. So Eben rings up.
He messages me occasionally on Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that he's too busy to be keeping in contact the way he used to. I'm glad he's living his life.
Yeah.
But Eben rings up and you said, Eben, are you all right? Are you hiding? Oh, here we go. And that's how it began.
Yeah.
And he was like, Gafford, start hiding. I'm coming to you in a bit.
I don't miss that. I don't miss any of that shit, though. I'm glad.
It was exhausting, but it was fun. And as a listener, I missed that.
Dave, what we're going to do is I'm going to put the Zoom link in the phone is too complicated. We'll put the Zoom thing in in a minute. Yeah. But I'm bored of the old stuff. The old stuff can kiss it, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, you say that, but I'm hoping to use the old stuff to motivate the new stuff.
Yeah, I'll go utilize it. Do you know what? I'm so not in a looking back at stuff frame of mind at the moment, which is great. Saying that, I got a couple of podcasts coming up. One, I don't really know what it is. The other one is the Ellis James and John Robbins one. I don't really know what we're talking about on there. Mental health, I suspect. And one is, am I allowed to say I'm doing the Jess Phillips podcasts?
I don't know, are you?
Well, I'm doing Jess Phillips podcast in a few weeks. I think she is a force for good. So I'm looking forward to that. Couple of talking heads for a couple of documentaries. Playing Uno on the radio. That's how we met Alistair.
Yeah.
Alistair won.
Daft idea that was.
Yeah. Alistair won. So that's how we met. No longer any desire to do a weekend late night phone-in. No, I don't actually, Twisty. Again, if someone came and said, right, Friday and Saturday, 200 quid a show, and you can do it from home, yeah, I'll do it. But I do not have that desire. I tell you what, because we have we have a creative satisfaction here. This scratches an itch. And I've also got an idea for a couple of other podcasts. One that me and Catherine are working on very, very slowly that may come out if we enjoy it. If we're not really talking about it, because if we may get bored by episode 3 and go, I don't want to do it anymore, and then no one's lost out. But I did tweet yesterday, and I'm serious about it. I would love to do a podcast. Alice says the funniest one for me was the guy who wanted to know why Paul Ross was ejected from the AM show. Didn't we say he'd pissed on the boss's car or something?
Yeah, and then Paul Ross came in to confirm.
But I tweeted, I got a really idea for a podcast, but I'd want to do it with someone who's got profile. I don't want to do it with just some rando. I want to do it with someone who's got profile so that it kind of sells itself. Where we would each week, me as a Beatles fan, them as not really a massive Beatles fan, each week we would listen to a Beatles solo album in chronological order. And boy, oh boy, you start the first 4 or 5 albums, 6 albums are hard work because you've got Life with the Lions and the Wedding album by John and Yoko. One side of one of those is the heartbeat of the baby that Yoko miscarried. That's a side of an album. And we would listen to those and talk about it. So I want to do that, but I'd want to do something with someone who's got a bit of profile so that it would get an audience. Start with the best stuff. You're right, Dave. Scott Zero To Do says, why did you not go to South Africa on I'm a Celeb, Get Me Out of Here? I wonder if you know the answer to that question, Scott. I wonder if you can work it out. It's because they didn't ask me.
Unless you've got it completely wrong and it was just about who turned up.
I think they got the biggest tossers to do it, and I was not on that list. So yeah, I'd like to do that Beatles podcast. This scratches an itch. I have no desire. I really genuinely have no desire to do anything performative. The things I'm doing, the Jess Phillips podcast doesn't pay, but actually I was quite flattered, and I think that would be interesting. It'd be nice to meet her. The other two podcasts and the two Talking Heads things I'll be doing, one is definite, one is not quite so definite, is they're paying. I did Chatterbix, which I don't think I did. I recorded, I think that's going out in July. I don't think I did very well in that. It's David Earl and Joe Wilkinson, and I don't think I did very well in that. They said it was good, but they would say that. I don't think. David says, would Joe Wilkinson do it? I don't really know him. And then he says, is randomly chucking out names going to help? No. Chatterbix, I came away thinking, shit, I don't think I didn't shine in that like I did with the Michael Fenton Stevens one. I was a bit nervous about it. So yeah, the ones I'm doing, and I'm saying no to. Oh, I've buggered my bell. Fixed it. I am saying no to podcasts now, but if they offer money, then I will do them as a job. My Wednesdays are generally free for show business.
Free for show business.
It is. I keep my Wednesdays free, so I can either go and watch my youngest play cricket.
Oh, free from show business.
Free
from show business.
No.
For?
So I can either go and play cricket, or I can go and do showbiz stuff. Wednesdays and Fridays, although I've started saying clients on Fridays, I keep those free, because then if people say, "Oh, can you do?" I'm free when I can meet you Wednesday, or I can do it kind of early Friday before I pick the kids up. That's it. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, they're booked out. You had John the Absolute Show. I'm going to take your word for that. I will take your word for that. I just don't know. If you're wondering why are these two on Twitch? I haven't seen them for ages. It's because it's Pledge Week. To keep the shows going, there are 3 ways you can help, and one of those ways is to donate money to us. Why would we do that? Because it's our jobs, and this money feeds our kids, and it would be very helpful. The link is in the chat, ! Donate. Thank you, Richard. Even donate £1, don't donate less than £1, seriously, because it just winds me up, because then we get odd numbers, and it makes me uncomfortable. How ungrateful. But you can donate money. Let's see if we can get to £50 tonight. That'll be good. Let's see if we can get to £50 tonight. And if you're listening to the podcast saying, I'm enjoying this, then you can go to paypal.me/Ian Lee. paypal.me/IAINLEE. Go and do it now while you're sat on the bus. Sinjin is here. We'll post the link for the Zoom in the chat very soon, and you will all be welcome to join us.
Then everyone will be able to hear everyone else.
Everybody will be able to hear everybody else. I'm trying to think. It feels like I had loads to talk about, but started watching season 2 of From. Thoroughly enjoying that. 2 episodes in. Thoroughly enjoying that. That's a gas. It feels like a lot has happened, but I'm quite chilled tonight. I was listening to a good podcast that David Turner's recommended, and I in turn recommended to him the podcast Reply All, the episode from about 3 years ago where someone's trying to remember a song, and this guy knows this song and no one else has ever heard of it, which is is a great
Well,
episode.
you say he knows it. He seems vaguely remembers it.
Vaguely remembers it, but does the song exist or not? Everyone keeps going, he sings it to them and goes, oh, it's Bare Naked Ladies, and it's not. But David recommended a podcast. Xbox, it's, right, hang on a minute. Let me see what it's called. It's a two-parter. It's from a series called Darknet Diaries. So it's about the internet and stuff. And it's a two-parter about some people who hack into the Xbox.
Oh.
And then it goes wild. It's absolutely brilliant. But they do that thing that they do on American podcasts. I want to tell you a story. You ready? And the other host goes, okay, what do you got? Okay, so there are two guys, one called Steve, one called John. And
You got to give it more vocal fry. You got to give it more.
No.
This
Is how I generally had it. Graham, thank you for that. The two guys, one called Steve, one called John. Okay, they sound like regular guys. Yeah, they were regular guys. They were into gaming. And well, here's Steve, and then it cuts to the interview, but it cuts to the bit where they go, "You okay? Yep, I'm okay. Should we start? Yep."
Oh,
they always do that in like that American Life and stuff. You hear them going, "Is this on? Okay, you got me? Yep, I'm good to go." So Steve popped in and had a chat with me. Just tell the story how you want to tell it. It does all that shit. Why do they do that? Why do they do that?
I mean, it's completely not what I told my students when I was teaching at the university to do. I was like, just get on with it.
Sinjin says,
Answer to the first question, straight
Did
in,
you
no messing.
see the dude who was helping to mod Nintendo systems? They found him and sued him for like $10 million, and he was paying them for the rest of his life. Yeah, I did, because I heard it on the computer game show. He's got paid 25% of what he earns for the rest of his life.
My chihuahua.
There are two guys, Steve and Tim. You ready to go? Yep, I'm ready. Don't do that! Because if it was like the kind of like trademark of one podcast, great, you do it. But now all of those American podcasts do it.
It's like finger spacing when you're writing, and they're trying to get to a certain length.
Yeah.
It's like doing a picture or something. Why are you adding that extra 30 seconds of someone settling into a chair?
Anyway, those two episodes are great. I nearly finished episode 2. I'm loving it. I am gonna go back to listen to some more of the reply alls. Yeah, there was a weird bit on the computer game show. So this guy owes Nintendo $17 million, right? Because he hacked them as part of the thing. And so they've worked out an agreement where he will pay 25% of whatever he earns, right? So then Sean on the computer game show says, right, well, if that was me, I'd just get a crap job forever. And I was listening to this while I was mowing the lawn. I had to stop and mow the lawn and rewind it.
But you're
go,
still only earning three-quarters of what you're earning.
Yeah, if that was me, I'd just get a crap job. I think, and everyone's going, why? Well, because there's no point. You wouldn't have any money. It's like, yeah, but you know what percentages are, right? So, yeah, if you're earning £100, they will take £25. Yeah, so what's the point in working? Yeah, but if you're earning £100,000, they would take 25. So if you work hard, you'd still have a lot of money. Yes, you're giving a big chunk of it. That's how percentages work. And Sean could not grasp that simple. Couldn't grasp it. And then they talk about it again today, and he still couldn't get it. Still couldn't get it.
When Dealey could not understand why magicians, if they could make tenors, didn't just keep tricking.
Yeah. It's very, very frustrating sometimes.
Oh, man.
Sinjin says, have you seen the problem with British Chinese food on TikTok? No, mate. What happened?
I'm intrigued.
Dave says a lot of podcasts are all preamble. Our whole show is preamble.
We'll get started in a minute.
Our whole show is preamble. Oh, I tell you what, because I did a little gaming stream last night. I've been wanting to do like retro gaming streams. But I've not quite wanted to do it enough until last night, and now I want to do it. And so I did a little stream last night, playing some Dragon 32 games, and then playing a very annoying BBC Micro game. And then I thought, I'm going to watch a thing that was sent to me ages ago. Reply All had a big scandal. David, if I sent you the Zoom link, would you be able to come in and tell me what that scandal was? Because they did end. I noticed they've ended. someone sent me a video that was not good enough quality to play on our show because it had a tone going all the way through it. And we talked about it. It was a documentary about the making of a boy band, Upside Down, who then changed their name to Orange Orange. And I've had that sat on my desktop screen for ages. And thinking, right, well, when the time is right, I'll play that. And last night I thought, I'll play it. And I clicked on it and it was something else. It wasn't that program. And now I can't find that program. I thought I'd stored it. I thought it was on my desktop.
Oh, no.
Now I can't find it. We're going to invite people in one at a time to the chat. David Turner's, come in, David Turner's. No one else just yet. Just David Turner's, one at a time. So I was really disappointed, and someone, it took ages to find it. I remember it was a young woman, it was a woman, I don't know how old she was, sent it to me, and now I can't find it, and I'm furious. And I've typed in all these words in my little search box on my computer, and I can't find it, and I'm absolutely gutted. Oh, Graham, I think maybe I didn't thank you. Thank you for the £2. It is appreciated. Can we get another tenner? Get up to 50 quid. Come on, guys, get up to 50 quid. Patreon, paypal.me/Ian Lee, or the link will pop up in the chat. So Reply All had a big scandal. I noticed they'd stopped broadcasting. And I assumed they got bored of it. I don't like to think, as you know, Catherine, I don't like to think, wrong link. What wrong link? Zoom? No. I don't like to think the worst of people.
No.
I don't like to think the worst of people. No, that link will work for this, Richard. There's two, so one. I like to think the best of people. Both those links. They got to the same place. I felt like I had loads to say tonight, and now I can't think about. Luckily.
Here's this guy.
Oh, there we go.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? Not. Totally got you there. It's David Turner's from the Computer Game Show. If you've not heard it, it is one of my favourite podcasts. It's up there with the Nothing Is Real podcast. It's video games, it's swearing, and one of the team is an idiot. I'm not saying who.
James Farley, baby. I got sent a link to another podcast from The Guardian that says, when podcasts go sour, can shows like Reply All come back from scandal?
Oh, okay. Because The Guardian, because Reply All were the darlings, because that episode I sent you was in all the papers. Is this the best ever episode of a podcast? So, but what?
God, it's amazing though, isn't it? It's so good.
How far have you got?
I was gripped for. I've finished it.
You finished it.
I was gripped throughout the whole thing, and by the end, I just thought, what a beautiful way to end that.
The reason
really, really good.
It's been on my mind is because on my weekly suggested music on Spotify, that song came up, and I go, how do I know that song? How do I know that song?
Did it really? Well, the song's on Spotify.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Okay,
he released his whole album, the album shit. But anyway, but did it say what the scandal was, or have I got to Google it?
No, I think you got to Google it. I don't know what it is. I haven't had the chance to listen. He literally just sent it because I sent that to them saying, listen to this," and then Sean gave me the moral check. Hey, you know those guys? They're not so cool. I was like, right, okay, well, I'll stop asking you to listen to it. How far did you get in with Darknet Diaries?
I'm 3/4 of the way through episode 2.
Oh my God.
Insane.
It is insane. And to think that, can I spoil just one, not for you, but you would have already heard this, but small one. Can you believe that they literally hacked into the new Xbox by breaking into the Microsoft offices and stealing an Xbox?
Well, the guy, his mum worked there, so he just cloned a card. So he
cloned a card, yeah.
He spent a year just walking about the Microsoft office because he wanted to work there one day.
So there weren't even any leather gloves and cover of darkness or anything used?
These were all kids. They were all like 14, 15, 16-year-olds that just wanted to see what cool game stuff they could. It was literally about nicking games that weren't out yet, so they could play them before they came out. That's how it
Wow.
all started, and it ends up in the most wild places. It's
If
crazy.
this were a film, though, surely they would be praised for their ingenuity and given jobs immediately.
Well, yeah. Well, I think. I mean, I don't want to spoil it for Ian, but I think some of them were. But there's one story where it ends up that is just mind blowing. Like, I cannot believe how it panned out. But you'll hear that bit, Ian. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's,
I'm not listening to what you're saying.
Oh, good. All right.
It's what happens. It's what happens when he stops talking.
That's all right. I'm used to it with Sean.
It's
How-
racism
Oh,
Okay.
is what is happening when you talk about me like that. No.
Oh, right. I think that's
the
scandal.
gist seems to be, the reply or gist seems to be racism.
oh God.
Right. Okay. They were racist, were they?
They weren't. I think they did a podcast about race, but then people started to say, "Well, hang on, that story you're reporting on, that's happening here as well." And the two main people, it was a toxic environment, is what I'm. Many people of color felt that it was their last chance in creating an environment. I'm not dismissing what they're saying. I'm just trying to speed read. Can't quite work it all out, but racism is a bad thing. It's a bad thing.
How far into jury duty are you, Catherine? You done yet?
I am. Where did we get to? We got to the bit where oh, they've been out for drinks. Jorf.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. That is that's when it starts to take a turn for the it gets a bit blue. There was a bit where Joe was like, do you reckon Harry would be all right if we just watch this? Like, he doesn't really pay attention or whatever, but we watch it in the background. And everything up to the point where she said that, I was like, yeah, it's nothing too bad. We didn't. And then the next bits was the shoulder quote.
Oh yeah,
all that sort
the
of stuff
soaking. It's not. It doesn't count as sex if I'm inside her, but I don't move, and someone jumps on the bed.
Wow.
Jump slower. Jump slower. Oh no, jump faster.
I mean, you don't know this bit yet, Catherine.
Feel like
sorry.
I'm living it.
Did you go back and watch the vomit bit?
I haven't yet. I haven't had the chance to go back and watch any of it. But yeah, no, I need to watch that. That whole last episode was so good.
It's beautiful.
That whole last
perfect.
episode was so. And when he,
don't, because it's so.
No,
it's just perfect. I couldn't work out how it was going to end.
Yeah.
And it's an astounding piece of television.
Yeah, and I like the fact that it's only 8 episodes and 25 minutes long. Is that bad? I mean, that's how
it's how TV used to be.
That's how I like it. I'm getting so fed up when you want to sit down and watch that, and you're like, right, we've got to commit an hour to it. It's it's getting my nerves a bit, but yeah, 25 minutes.
How good is James Marsden as well, though?
He's the best. I mean, I always saw James Marsden as like he's sort of a bit of a corny character that does movies with CGI, because he was in Hop as well, wasn't he?
All I know him from is Sonic.
Sonic. Yeah, so he was in Sonic, and I think he was in Hop.
Right.
And they're basically the same movie.
My favourite bit...
Every beat is the same.
And I won't give the line, but my favourite bit in the entire series is when he goes, "Oh!" I love that bit.
The only problem with that is that they show that about 8 times before it happens.
Yeah. Oh, I never watched the coming up.
Oh, God, it's really annoying.
Bail out of the coming up straight away.
Yeah, we did that about halfway through. Yeah, but what a show. What a show. What a show. And I'm trying to think if we've watched anything else recently, but I don't think we have. How have you been? How have you guys been?
Sorry, that was
How have you guys been?
Is
it not about you, no?
No, it's not. I've done a lot of talking, Catherine.
Tell you what I've done today. I've been trying to find my GCSE certificates.
Do you got a certificate?
I don't remember getting a certificate. I remember getting some little bits of paper in an envelope and looking at them once, nearly 30 years ago, putting them back in the envelope and going, yeah, that's the last time I'll ever look at those. I do recall at some point my mum clearing out my old bedroom well after I'd left and saying, have this. And it was my national record of achievement. Did you have one of those?
I
What
was
is
about to
that?
say, yeah, well, the red book. The red
Yes.
book with the gold text and it.
Yes,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is-
yeah. We
This
have
is
one.
your
Yeah.
life.
It's kind of
It
like
looked
that.
like it.
All
Yeah.
it is you write it yourself. Half of it. It's like, I have learned to X, Y, and Z. This is what sort of person I am, right? Again, I looked at it once. We were given it with much ceremony at school, and I tidied around it and put things on top of it for the next 30 years. Well, that book is now having its last laugh because I need it.
Really?
I think that's where my results. That's the only place I could think where I would have
Yeah,
put
because
those
you're
results.
supposed to put your GCSEs in there.
Yeah,
and
I've
then,
never heard of this book.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think you
and
maybe
they.
it was after your time, Ian.
Is this
There's
your
gotta be a photo
permanent
of it.
record that they talked about all the time?
Yes, yes.
Sort of, yeah. Although mine just had newspaper clippings from when I was in school plays and stuff, like because I didn't have any GCSEs or anything like that. It was just like newspaper cuttings.
Well, I went to my
Um,
mum's to try and dig that stuff out, and I couldn't find it. But we found loads of pictures and all my swimming certificates, so I'm hoping that will suffice.
Wonder if you could buy one on. Oh my god! Look, if you Google National Record of Achievement, you could see the exact book with the metal corners.
Yeah,
and
it was
yeah,
burgundy fake leather.
it was burgundy fake leather.
This is
Oh my
insane.
god, I think mine's in the garage actually. I need to try and dig it out.
Well,
Uh,
listen, I never thought I would need it. I laughed in the face of it when my mum gave it to me. I went, "Oh, how handy!" And now it turns out I do not know where it is. It's somewhere in this house, but I have no idea where. And if you're going for anything to do with teaching, they want to see your certificates.
Really? What your
Yes.
original certificate?
My GCSE, I've got my degree, I've got my postgraduate diploma. They're not interested in that. They want to see my GCSEs.
I'd be a little bit worried about going back into that environment because whenever I go to like parents' evening or whatever, Joe says, "What's the matter with you?" Because my back gets up and I was just like looking around. I'm getting
it's not your
angry and saying,
place.
"Oh, look!" I said to her the other day. She said, "We went to Harry's parents' teacher evening, and they had." I said, "Oh, I really need the toilet because I come straight from work." She went, "Well, you can't go to the toilet here," and
Who
I
said
said,
that?
"Why?" She said, "Oh, they don't let you. They don't let parents use the toilets here." And I walked in, and they had signs up saying parents can't use the toilets. And I went, "Why? Why is that?" And she said, "Well, you know, kids and adults in the toilets." I went, "Every public toilet does that. What's the difference?" Like,
The toilet thing in schools is strange at the moment. I know this from my eldest daughter, who's nearly 15. They're not allowed to go. You know, sometimes it's after lunchtime. You're halfway through your class. You need a wee, right?
right.
They won't let you go. They won't let you go. You've got to go in break times only. And in break
So
times, they
weird.
only let a certain number of kids in. There is a teacher patrolling the toilets, and there is my daughter spends, she says, most of the time in the queue waiting to go to the loo break times. She comes home bursting most days
That's
because
so rough, isn't it?
because they're policing the toilets. Way to not make our kids feel weird.
Well, this is it. I mean, if we're supposed to be saying that school's setting kids up for life, you teach them, yeah, you can't go to the toilet except for certain times. You got to work outside your hours. Do you know what I mean? Like that's
Also,
that's a norm.
this is not like a 6-year-old or a 5-year-old messing about. You know, when kids do that, whenever we go somewhere with little kids, they always want to check the loos out and you're up 3 or 4 times, right? This is a 14, 15-year-old girl needing to go to the loo. I just find
It's
it
mad,
bizarre.
isn't it? Yeah, it is mad. Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be like one of those movies, Catherine. You're going to get a job in a school and you're going to go there and the kids are going to hate you. They're going to throw stuff at you. And then you're going to somehow convince them that you're one of them. And then by the end of it, they're all going to love you. They'll cry at the end of their school year and the school will go, "Yeah, we're going to change the way we do things."
Yeah,
And
starts
that'll
with
be
the
that.
toilets.
And then the credits roll.
That's the plan. That's the plan. But
plan.
first, I need to get through this mini teach that I've got to do of half an hour, which is not right. Having taught university students for entire days and seen the work rate and the amount of coaching that needs to happen, I'm not going to be able to turn around anything practical in 30 minutes.
How are
But I will
people-
inspire those young minds.
Why are people, loads? Everyone's talking about this. Is this a wind up? This national record of achievement? Because I've never heard of this.
It's real.
When was it
Wish I could
introduced?
find it.
I don't know. Let's have a look. It says here. It's right. So here
My
we go.
GCSE
National-
was 1993.
in the 90s. Yeah, in the 90s.
Okay, right. Well,
and
I
the
took my
early 2000s.
GCSEs in, I don't know, 88, 89.
Were they called something else back then?
Fuck off.
It was an imaginary permanent
That's a
record.
weird thing to call them.
But they used to say, didn't they? This is going to go on your permanent record, and no one ever saw that.
The GCSE, I took the second year of GCSEs. The year before me was the first, and it was great because they marked them too hard the first year to prove that they were as tough as O levels. So our year they marked them really soft. I still got shit results, but they were less shit. They were fewer shit than had they marked them hard.
Do you know what I find astonishing though? And there is definitely a flaw in this plan. There is no central database of everyone's results. None. So if I hadn't gone for this, it turns out that's why they need the original certificate, because they cannot do it. So if I do get a job in teaching and they want to see those certificates, I'll have to get in touch with my old school, find out which exam board did those exams in 1993, and approach the exam board for a copy of the certificate, which could cost me between £10 and £50.
Alf says, took mine in 92. Think we were the first year to do a record of achievements. Alf is saying 92. That's why I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
What a strange thing.
It was a weird thing because they didn't exactly give you. It just made me feel awful because there was about 50 pages.
Is it Dennis in the house?
No, it's Big Boy. He's really biting Patty. What was that? Come up here, darling. What the fuck are you doing, prick?
Barbara Woodhouse.
Anyway, let me go and check something.
It's not embarrassing.
Oi!
While he's gone, Catherine, check your phone.
Yeah.
And see what you think. I'll just text you an idea. Maybe overdoing it.
Yeah, we do.
It's possible.
That's a really good idea.
All right, leave it to me. We'll try to sort that.
All right. That's a really good idea. But I am still worried about where mine is. And it's annoying because I can see it and I know I've moved it. And thought, I'm never going to need that. But I wouldn't have thrown it away.
You're going to find it in a box full of the best stuff.
I'll find it
Honestly.
I find it once I've paid £100 for 2 GCSE certificates. That's what's going to happen. You know that's what's going to happen.
What you got there? What's that?
Do you know what? It's an orange twirl. Let me tell you a story about this. I just got this from the bin.
Oh.
Because I found in my drawer full of plastic bags, someone had bought me, I think Amy, maybe the mods had bought it actually, one of those framed things, break in case of emergency, and it's full of chocolates. Well, I found it yesterday and I caned all of the chocolates in one go because if there's chocolate in my house, I can't not. Then there was this one. I thought, I'm going to throw this away. And then I just saw, I'm going to get it out of the bin and eat it.
There you go.
No, cat food.
Is it sealed?
It doesn't taste very nice.
But then again, you have eaten worse in your life.
If there was chocolate in my house, I can't. Well, fuck. There's the coronation Colin the caterpillar cake.
No. That's for the king.
You bought that?
Yeah.
Nice. And when are you going to smash that? Saturday.
We're having a coronation barbecue on Saturday. Me, the kids, and what's her name? We're gonna smash it then.
David. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You can come.
I'll come.
All right. Here we go.
I'll do that.
David, I invite you and your family to the barbecue on Saturday. Genuine offer.
Sorry, we genuinely got plans. That would have been
there
amazing.
There we go. I'll come. All right, you're invited. Oh, I don't want to come.
It's like,
is your plan not going to Ian's house? Is that what?
No, we're going to see Joe's brother's family, basically. So we're around there. I don't know what we're supposed to do. What are you supposed to do on that day?
Joe's brother's family. So your family.
Yeah, but but it's two different vibes, so it feels like you've got to separate it. My family, very, very awkward day, that is. Joe's family, pretty chill. It'll be good fun. So that we got that on Saturday.
I am looking forward to the coronation. I like
Why?
a little bit. I like pomp and ceremony. I like seeing how silly we are. The fact that there's some splinters from the cross of Christ are going to be there. I love that.
What? There's what?
There's some splinters from Christ's cross.
But gave him some. Yeah, he had a few hanging about. Apparently.
Isn't there a magic stone? What was the magic? Was it a magic?
The stone of scone.
Is that the magic one?
Yeah, that's the one that lives in.
So there's a magic
Scotland.
stone, and there's a couple of splinters from Jesus Christ's cross. I'll be furious from what I've heard.
It's from his cross.
The Pope has lent it to them, I think.
Yeah.
Who sold it to the Pope?
So I love all of that stuff. So we're going to do that. We're going to have a barbecue. I'm going to make I said to the boys, I will be making you swear allegiance to the king. Yeah, I love it. Love all that crap.
Yeah, I've never been into any of that, but Joe loves it, and yeah, I can't. I reckon I'll watch it for about 5 minutes and go, I get the gist. I think that'll be it.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit in front of it. Yeah, Linny is right. I think it is going to chuck it down this weekend. So
is it really? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
that's a shame. Oh, well,
how is we don't talk very often about the computer game show.
You do. You talk about it all the time, and it's always a delight to hear you talk about it. It always makes me. It's always really weird for me, but I love it.
How is it going?
Honestly,
yeah,
it's going insane at the moment. I don't know what's happened.
I heard you mention you've got a few more listeners, but what?
We're talking. This time last year, probably treble the amount of, and we weren't doing too bad. Yeah. But it has gone. Matt's literally just texted me saying we've broken another record yesterday with most downloads in a day, and it's getting weird because we put a call out at the end of the last pod saying if you've just started listening to us, let us know why, and no one replied to that. So I think it might be a glitch, but I'm not too sure. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, have you had any more upswing in your Patreon?
Yes, yeah, that's gone up since January. So that's been nice.
It would seem that you're on an algorithm somewhere.
Could be, but I wish someone would tell us because we've it's really. Maybe I shouldn't care. I've never cared about numbers ever. It's just that Matt is now repeatedly putting them in the chat, and it's got us a little bit excited. We just announced our next TCGS con.
Which I said I would go to, and then you said, Ian, it's in Sunderland, and I Googled it. It's 5 hours away, so I hope you have a great time.
Did you not know? Did you not know where Sunderland was?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know it was 5. I didn't know anywhere in this country could be 5 hours drive away. I didn't know that was possible.
It's true. So we got that coming up in July, and then we're hoping to do a live show in London anyway. So I'm sure you'll be along to that one. Well, actually, I'm probably going to need your help for that.
Oh, okay. Dennis says, I love the computer game show. I've just subbed my second Patreon. There you go.
Oh, thanks, Dennis. Appreciate that.
It's Delith.
Delith. Appreciate that. Dennis.
We've got your money now. I don't give a shit what your name is. No refunds.
It's been really good fun. And we've got like a few things that we want. I told you about my latest podcast idea that is still going around in my head.
Yeah.
Over and over, so that might happen at some point. But no, that's really cool. It's really, and it was good to have you on the other week. It was it's always a pleasure. You'd actually done your homework. You'd actually
did some
played
work.
games.
I played some video games.
Are you still on the Xbox?
Nah, I'm bored of it now. No, I go through phases of it, and no, I haven't. At the moment I'm just watching a lot of I'm watching Dragon's Den, right? Because I'm a little bit stressed at the moment about stuff. So I watch Dragon's Den. It's just like wallpaper, and it calms me down. But I'm watching an old series with Tej Lavani in it. And Tuka Suleiman has been ill. Tuka Suleiman is recovering from a mild illness. So to replace him, an older dragon has rejoined us. And it's Theopathetis.
Oh,
right.
He's a fucking arsehole.
I have problems with him.
He's so rude.
Problems with him.
And he tells Deborah to be quiet, and he says, no, I want to... Theo, leave them alone. No, we haven't got me all day for a pitch. What's the point of it? He's so rude.
This won't mean much to you, but he always wears a gold badge, right?
Yeah.
Little gold badge. And that gold badge is the Millwall Lion, because he owned Millwall Football Club for a long time. And during his ownership, we made the FA Cup final, which is something that we should never do because we're a small club. Yeah. But we got all the way to the FA Cup final. I went to every game in that cup run. And because he changed the rules about buying tickets, I couldn't get a ticket to the final.
What?
So the only time Millwall playing a FA Cup final.
Well, did you have to go and buy a stapler at Ryman's or something to qualify for a ticket?
You had to be a member from before the semi-final, and you never needed to be a member of Millwall. But the rumours were he was doing it to sell a lot of the allocation to, corporate, basically. So, I didn't get to go to the final. I mean, we lost 3-0, so it wasn't the end of the world, but it was... Yeah, I've got
Absolute
personal
winker.
problems with that, man. Personal problems. But no, my comfort TV is Border Patrol. Border Patrol.
Okay.
The Australia one.
Yeah.
That's my favourite. I love
What-
it every time.
What is that? That's
It's the one where
That's finding
people
stuff in
fly to
people's bags and
Australia.
okay.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
And they
Route.
go, have you got it's little old oh, my favourite was this little old lady. She had a case and the person was about to inspect it and said, have you got any vegetation in this case? And she said no. And he opened it up and it was just mushrooms, full of mushrooms and stuff like that.
What?
And she looked at him, little old lady, she looked at him and they went, well, we are going to have to fine you for this, you know. And she started to like just walk off. Go, no, come back. Where are you going? And then to grab her and drag her back. It's wild. How have you not seen this? It's on it like every day.
My kind of everyday TV programs are Four in a Bed and A Place in the Sun. I like A Place in the Sun. That's my jam.
What's A Place in the Sun?
It's a couple who basically want a free holiday, so they pretend they're going to buy a flat in Portugal,
right?
And they get shown 5 flats, and at the end they go, well, we're gonna go back and think about it. Or sometimes the flat will be 100,000 euros, and they go, yeah, we'd like to make an offer on property number 3. We'd like to offer them 60,000 euros, and they go, what? It is 100,000. Okay, and so the host says, hello, yeah, no, I've got them here. Oh no, it's to the ear because you can't hear the other person. Yep, they're going to make an offer. They want to make an offer of 60,000 euros.
Me and Ian are sitting home going, cheeky bastards. They're never going to get it for that.
Okay, I will let them know. They've said no.
But sometimes they say yes.
There is quite a lot of wriggle room. 40,000 euros there's not that much.
And that's another thing. Sometimes a couple will go, well, we've got 200,000 from the sale of Yvonne's flat in Warrington, but we could possibly have a bit more wriggle room to 230,000. You go, 30 grand.
That is some wiggle room, right? Graham is
right.
Very
rarely do they look at anywhere that you'd want to stay for more than a week.
Graham is right. They always have orange juice when they're deciding. They all sit around the table, have orange juice. There was one this week, though. They're all drinking water. And they said, okay, well, when we finished our refreshments, we'll go and have a look. It's just glasses of water. Jesus Christ.
Maybe they have less wriggle room. The other one I like is when they've been looking around particularly grim concrete places, normally within, they'll say, oh, there's a sea view. If you stand on that chair and look between those two houses.
Yeah.
But, concrete places within a sort of view of the Red Lion pub where they show the match and stuff. They'll go, and now we're going to go and have a look at somewhere nice. And they will spend 5 minutes looking around like a millionaire's property with an indoor pool and surrounding infinity pool outside and all that sort of stuff. And then they go, right, now back to Playa del Carmen, where we're looking for a shitty flat for these two that they're not going to buy.
We when we were looking, we had a similar situation like that. When we were looking, we got onto the property ladder 2 years ago. Really lucky. We were very, very lucky and helped out. And when we were looking for a place, we went to this one place and we said, right, so the estate agent was showing us around, and they said, and the price is this, and we went, oh right, that's weird, because we thought actually this looks way better than anywhere we've seen, and we went, oh, it says on your website it's actually 50 grand less or whatever it is, and they went, oh right, okay, no, that's wrong, that's definitely wrong.
That's the end of that. Then
we went right, okay, well, sorry then. No. Well, no, don't go. I mean, what's your budget? And we said, look, it's embarrassing. Like, there's no point in us, we were looking at the original price. So I said, don't worry about it. We don't want to be insulting to the owner or whatever. So you're here, make an offer. And we went, this then. And he didn't even pick up the phone and talk to her. He went, no. I went, okay, then see you later. Well, thanks for your time. I hate all that. I hate estate agents.
The first place I bought, we were shown around by a very attractive young lady in very short clothes. When we agreed we were going to buy the place, never saw her again. We had to go through a man whose first name was Felix, his last name was Felix, and he had no middle fingers. Felix. And the first flat, I can remember it perfectly, right? I bought it because I was promised that I was going to be the host of Liquid News on BBC Choice. So I had money coming in, and it was in North London. And the flat was £313,000 and it'd been on the market for 6 months. And I went and saw it with my partner and we liked it, and we went back and we liked it. And then I went back on my own with this young woman and I said, yeah, we'd like to buy it. She went, okay. I said, I don't know how you do. What do I do? She went, well, the price is £313,000. I said, could I make an offer less than that? She went, no. I went, okay, we'll take it.
What?
We'll take it. So I didn't make an offer, even though it had been on the market for 6 months. I went, okay, we'll take it. Fucking idiot. Still had to, even though I was on the telly, I still had to borrow money off my mum to afford the deposit.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's
mad,
insane.
and that's only going to get worse for people trying to get on the property ladder. But have you heard of what happens in Scotland?
Yes,
Blind
it's a
auctions.
closed bid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? When my mate told me that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's all like, and I'm like, that just seems really odd. That seems like a weirder way of doing it.
I wouldn't like that. That's too stressful.
No, at the
It
time
is
when I was
way
buying
too
my
stressful.
first flat, I had to go and live with my parents again for another 3 years to be able to get anything near a deposit together. Which is why I ended up working at 3 counties, actually. I'd been working in Peterborough before then, but I thought I can't afford to work for such small wages and save anything up. So I went to stay with my parents for a few years, and it was bloody awful because none of us were used to. I wasn't used to being in the kid mold anymore, and they were not used to having an independent adult living in the house.
Yeah, it's like that
notes.
classic thing. You can have your bedroom back, but we got an exercise bike in there now, so you'll have to move that out of the way when you go to bed.
We went looking for flats. My dad came with me and we went to some places. Bearing in mind, I was buying it on my own. Some places where like I was stepping over like dead Tesco trolleys on the way in the garden. And then we went into this flat and there was a mattress on the landing and I'm not entirely sure someone wasn't sleeping on it. And we went in and my dad said, okay, well, interesting location. He said it was fully furnished. I could see that there's a kitchenette there. I don't see a bed. Is there a bed? The guy banged the wall. Laurel and Hardy fold up bed.
That's so good. That's like something out of a sitcom.
It was outrageous. I mean, my dad saw lunch and went, yeah, it's gonna fly.
The worst we had when we went to I lived in Milton Keynes for 2 years, and when we were looking to rent at a place there, I think it was called Oldbrook.
Yes.
It was just outside central Milton Keynes. And we drove up, we parked out, it's me and my friend, we parked outside this flat that we were going to go and see. There was glass all along the like smashed car windows and stuff all along the curb. We pulled up, there was people sitting on deck chairs in the front garden, drinking and, all that sort of stuff.
Carrying on.
But one of them shouted, "What do you want?" when we got out of the car. That was awkward. And
my neighbour.
We walked up. The estate agent come up. She got us to the door, went to put the key in, looked at us and went, "You're not going to live here, are you?" And we went, "Nope." And then we went back. And that was it. We didn't even walk in. That was
it. The flat I ended up buying, it was an old lady's flat. She didn't want to live there anymore. Her husband had died and there was too many memories. So we didn't press her for too many details. She did fill out one of those seller's packs though. So we thought that gave us a little bit of insurance, right? Because she didn't know of any problems or anything like that. So apparently she did not know that when my dad went to pull up the carpet that was in the bathroom, yes, the carpet, he put his finger through the entire floor.
Ooh.
That's pissy.
It wasn't, it was because I was on the ground floor. The whole of the base of the flats was it was waterlogged. So it went through to my kitchen. I had to get the kitchen done, the bathroom done, the living room floor needed doing as well. And when I went to the hallway and pulled the carpet up there, they were running cables underneath the carpet. It was a flipping death trap. But apparently she didn't know of any problems.
I've told this story before. You probably both heard it when we were looking for our first place to buy, and we went to a place, and it was about 3 miles from where we were, so it was nowhere near where we were renting. Completely different street name, completely different postcode, completely different house number. And we went in. It was a flat, and we went into the communal hallway, and I looked down on the little pile of post, and on the top was a letter addressed to me, my name, my address, and I said to the estate agent, that's for me. And he was a bit, I said, I'm taking it because it's for me. It was a check. I used to get paid by checks, and it was a check. And it would be great to be able to say, and we decided to buy that flat and move in. We didn't. It was a shithole. But it was the weirdest thing that this letter had been sent there.
But had they nicked it? Had they nicked your post?
No, it was miles away. It was put there on the pile of post. It was on the top. It had been sent
this
there.
happened. Where did you see it? When did you see it? When you were viewing the place?
We went to view a place.
Well, I know the answer then.
Go on.
The estate agent fabricated that, so it's a sign. It's a sign. We got to live there. That's genius.
So the estate agent stole a letter that intercepted a postman. They were postmen in those days. You didn't have, ladies doing it. So you're suggesting he intercepted the post to create some kind of voodoo good luck charm?
Oh, I reckon they just made a letter with your name and
with a check
in
with
it.
a check for £10,000 in it.
Did you cash it?
Yeah, I did. I was on TV money back then. Yes, of course I did. It was from my agent.
What's £10,000? How much was the place?
Well, the place was like, I don't know, 300,000.
Right, so it's probably 290,000.
What?
Get the money back in the end anyway, don't they? It's a genius move. It's a genius move.
Wow.
Or you might have been thinking about the new address and you accidentally entered it into some sort of...
I didn't. No, but the address on the front was my address. Why is this so hard to grasp?
You're trying to find a logical explanation when we all know it was magic.
David, have you ever had long hair?
No, only in lockdown. Like they got because the problem is, right? This is like I'll have to show you a picture of me when I've not got stuff in my hair, right?
Yeah,
because it just grows out. Like that.
Action Man.
It's really annoying. Like I'd like it to go back or whatever, but it doesn't. It just grows out, and I just insane.
Okay,
so
I just am trying to imagine you with a ponytail.
No, I've never had a ponytail.
Did you never
Why
have
are you trying to
curtains?
imagine that?
Because I just need something to get me going.
No, no, my brother had curtains.
Did he?
My brother had curtains. I used to have the spider fringe when I was a kid because that was all the rage. You know, the early 90s spider fringe.
So did you gel individual sections?
Yeah, you sort of gelled it down and then did that, and it came out like a little spider thing. And then after that, I just used to slick it up. So I used to have like this massive.
Yes,
oh my god!
Billy
And
Whiz.
my mum once said, "We're not going to give you money to go to barber, so I'm going to cut your hair. How do you like it?" And I said, "Well, I like
Cut
it
by a
short, but
professional.
with a flick like at the front." And she went, "Okay." She put her hand there and buzz cut it around the rest of it. I looked like Fat Ronaldo. It was unbelievable.
So what? You had a
But
long fringe and bald around the back.
I had a big old chunk of hair there, and the rest was shaved like practically bald. Yeah.
Did you see that video of the guy having his fringe tattooed on?
No.
There's a video out there. I think I'm going to say TikTok probably, but you definitely find it on YouTube. And he was a guy who's been losing his hair, and he was very conscious of his receding hairline. So his girlfriend said that she would tattoo some hair on, and I think he was hoping for something subtle, like Agassiz stubble, because you can tattoo stubble.
That's not tattooed. What? Agassiz stubble is not tattooed on.
Yes, it is.
The tennis
Guy
player
is bald
Agassiz stubble on his chin.
on his head.
On his head.
Right. Well, when we say stubble, we mean here. That's tattooed on.
What did we say?
When we say stubble,
Anyway,
we
she
mean
did
face.
like a long fringe on him and no hair.
Andre.
When we, the male gender.
When we say stubble.
Yeah, no, my brother always gets a hump. My brother lost his hair when he was like 19. He started losing his hair, and he's always said, "I'm so sick of you. You do the same thing with your hair every like I've not changed my hair for about 20 years," and I'm like, well, I don't know what else I could possibly do with it. I can't imagine doing anything else with it. I don't want long hair because that doesn't work.
Right.
So yeah, I was just happy I didn't lose it when I was 19.
There is zero evidence that Andre Agassi's head stubble is tattooed on. That is the
old
biggest
news, mate. It's old news. Everybody
it must
knows.
be so old then that it's fallen off the internet because there ain't nothing there
There is.
that says it.
There is. There's proof.
Andre.
Proof is out there.
Wait, hold on. You can't just say that there's proof out there. What's the proof?
I read it
This is
somewhere.
this is one of those
Also,
things where
the
you
man-
had a dream.
He held on to that ponytail for as long as he could, didn't he?
Oh, my favourite are pop stars in the 90s with ponytails. Mickey Dolenz, Pete Townsend, Mick
You know what they
Fleetwood.
call that? A skullet.
Skullet. Love it.
A baldy pony.
A baldy
Andre
pony.
Agassi had some hairstyle, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's
No one
nuts.
can say that man did not enjoy it while it lasted.
It's true.
Roger
It's
says,
absolutely
wasting
true.
the gift you've been given, Turners, disgusts me.
What's that? What, my talent? Because
Your hair, your
Your hair.
hirsute
oh, right, my hair.
head.
Okay, yeah. No, I don't think I'm wasting it. Actually, I quite like it. So up yours.
Wowzers. When are you guys doing some live streaming? Because we ended the show early last week to watch. Why are you pretending you've frozen? That's what I do with my kids, and they never fall for it.
No, I was
She's
just
being
chilling.
attentive.
We finished the show last Thursday early to watch your stream, and then as soon as I finished it and went to your stream, I remembered it was actually Wednesday and not Thursday.
Oh, that was when we did the Patreon stream, right? I don't know actually. I want to do some more of that puzzle game with Matt because that looks absolutely
fun.
brilliant. And then, but then we all played Mario Party last week, and it got so stressful.
Oh.
Have you played that, Catherine? Mario Party with the girls?
I have played Mario Party. Yeah, we love that. That's so good. It's all
Oh
with the
my
mini games,
God.
right?
Yeah. Oh God, it causes so many rows in this household, like proper full blown arguing because someone's stolen a star from someone else, and we have to calm everyone down. Exact same thing happened with me, Sean, Matt, and James, where we played it. There's a standoff at the end where one of us had an opportunity to steal a star, and we were just screaming at each other.
I might have to watch it.
That reminds
good.
me,
It's fun.
the new Dungeons and Dragons film. It's so
Oh, right.
good.
So
Is it good?
It's good. From what I've heard, Mario disappointing, but I'll still give it a try.
I loved it.
Peaches,
Did you? Good.
Peaches.
Yeah, I liked it. But yeah, no, I've heard Dungeons and Dragons is great.
Dungeons and Dragons is a gas, and for old people like me, there is a blink and you'll miss it twice nod to the cartoon series. Hey, a Dungeons and Dragons ride, and there's a bit happen. I went, was that?
And I went, yeah.
And
I noticed that too.
Then I spent the next hour in bed reading about it because I was so thrilled. They put in this weird Easter egg that only old people would pick up on, possibly because it wasn't even that obvious.
Did you watch Quantum Mania? Have you watched that one yet?
I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
It was basically a video game.
I thought it was rubbish. And then
I enjoy it because our friend, now I can't remember his real name, Neil Hamburger. What's Neil Hamburger's real name? Oh God, why can't I remember his name?
His name
Turkington,
is
Greg Turkington.
Turkington.
They either him or Tim Heidecker are always in the film. He was the guy that made the cake, that made like the horrible shitty cake at the end for the birthday party. He goes, this is the first cake I've made since 1995, and it's this horrible green cake. Anyway, it's a cameo, but I enjoyed it because I like Rudd. But yeah, it was a bit shit. I tell you what, I really enjoy Shazam 2.
What's Shazam?
It's not Marvel. It's the other DC.
DC.
It's a kid.
Okay.
It's this kid who turns into a superhero.
Yeah, it's basically the American Banana Man.
Yeah, and I thought the second one was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot, but it got terrible reviews and no one went to see it. Partly because he's an anti-vaxxer. However, yeah, I thought that was.
Do we still get angry at anti-vaxxers?
I don't.
Are we still supposed to get angry?
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
kind
know
of.
if I'm gonna get anymore.
I was driving home today and just thinking, oh, it's weird how we're just not that was it. I was listening to a podcast and they were like, well, I'm just about to go on a train, so I've got to put a mask on. I was like, oh yeah, do you remember? Fucking putting a mask on.
Well, we were in the cavern, and I was thinking,
I bet.
This is where everyone's cramped up, everyone's close together, and it's all right now. You know,
and it's people from all over the world.
Yeah.
You were saying it was air conditioned now.
The bit where we sat at the front of the stage in the bigger room, it was air conditioned.
Right.
Yeah, we were cold.
Oh, it was horrible when we went. When the doors opened for intermission or whatever, people were like climbing over each other to get up the stairs to get some fresh air. It was
But did you go into the bigger room, or were you in the long, sort of narrow corridor?
No, we were in the bigger room. In the bigger room.
Who did you see?
The Beatles? To the left. If you're standing, we saw the Beatles. Oh, it was so fun. It's so funny because we had it was a stag do and we had to get dressed up. Me and my brother went as Del Boy and Rodney, I was Rodney, but the problem was every time Michael went to the toilet, I was just a bloke in a army surplus jacket standing around looking a bit scruffy. They didn't really get it. My friend went as Jarvis Cocker, and the Beatles halfway through started pointing out and saying who we are. Look, it's Del Boy Rodney. There's such and such. Oh, and look, it's Louis Theroux. So for the rest, I was like, but I was saying, I can't imagine anyone getting dressed up as Louis Theroux, because how would you do that?
Yeah.
And secondly, how would you point at someone to go, they're definitely dressed as Louis Theroux? I don't know. I don't know how they achieved it, but that's who he was dressed at for the
David, could you do me a favour? Could you name 5 Beatles songs?
Oh God, don't do this to me. I hate being on.
I had a feeling
Hey
this.
Jude.
Hey Jude, yeah.
Right, okay. Hey Jude. Dear Prudence.
What?
Wow, we went there.
How have you plucked that out of the? It's one of my favourite Beatles songs, but how have you
I love
plucked
it. I love
that
it.
out?
I'll tell you in a minute. What are the names of them? Oh, why? I'm so scared. What are the fucking names of them? Why are you doing this to me?
Why are you having
is
such
my
a
favourite?
breakdown? It's a very simple question, David.
It is about Yellow Submarine. Oh God, Octopus's Garden. I Am the Walrus. Does that count? Are they the actual ones? Because
Yeah,
I'm
they are.
worried that I'm going to say something like a lyric, and you're going to go, "Well, it wasn't actually called that, David," and I'm going to look like a fool.
Why would I
Yeah,
do
that's what
that?
he's hoping for.
Shut up, Catherine. I wouldn't do that. Why, dear Prudence?
Because I never liked the Beatles for a long time, because when I was growing up, Help was played at every family disco, and it
Okay.
filled me with dread, and I still don't like that song.
Was it
But they used to-
the Dawn French version?
No, it
French?
was the Beatles version. I used to get that, and the other song that I still can't listen to is Uptown Girl. That was another one that was always played at the fair, and I hate it. I didn't really appreciate the Beatles until I played Beatles Rock Band,
It's a good game.
and then I was like, "Oh my God, they're way better than I thought they were."
And you are
And
right.
then I
That
just, like,
opening,
listened to the
opening
album.
5 minutes of that game is
It's incredible, isn't
incredible. The big elephant
Yeah.
marching along and all of that stuff. It's
it?
amazing.
So Joe's mum was like a massive Beatles fan, massive. We watched the documentary on Apple together. Joe hated it because she's not a big fan, but we loved it. But she, I showed her that intro to the Beatles Rock Band game. She cried.
Yeah.
She was like,
Beautiful.
"This is just perfect. This is perfect." And then and I told you we went to see Love, the Cirque du Soleil in
Oh,
Vegas
mate.
on our honeymoon, and I was crying on the way out, and Joe said, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "John would have loved it, like I knew him."
Love.
What's
I cried in Love. Do you remember the little kids breakdancing on the beds? That's the bit that really
do.
sticks out for me. And the Beatles in space. I loved it. I came out in pieces. When I was in Las Vegas filming that shitty Prince Harry and Prince William lookalike thing, and it just wasn't working. And I just came out thinking, I'm never going to make anything that's a tenth as good as that is. It was beautiful. And
Yeah, I thought that, and then we started Marvel calls, so I was like, actually, yeah, we have done. So that's cool. It's cool. We've beaten it. We've topped that. I'm happy with that. Right. Feels like a natural time to kick me out, right?
yeah, I think it feels like
I think
a
you're
natural.
done here.
Did you see the Zoom meeting? Let me find the Zoom meeting clip. What did I see it as on? What was it on Twitter? Probably. Zoom meeting.
Which cat is crying? Shut Willow in the cupboard the other day, and I could hear her
Sweet
muffled
Jesus
crying.
Christ.
Go on.
Oh, why do I always just get big naked dicks and bloody hell, this is, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, here it is. Here it is. It's absolute, I can't, there we go. Where's the picture? I want the video. Give me the video. Good, this is good. This is good. You'll like this. You'll like this. Wow, that's a still.
Where we go, easy way.
Hang on. Let me try typing in some keywords. Senator. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You're gonna like this. This is brilliant. Share screen. You can see that, right?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, right. This is. Let me just do Zoom screen. Here we go. So this is a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Senator Barr.
Yes.
Senator Dibble.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
go.
Senator Barr.
Yes.
He's in bed.
Yes.
He's in
Representative
bed.
Freeman. Yes.
I don't think there's anything. I think that's it.
Representative Jacob.
Johnson. Yes.
we
Representative
sit-
Anderson.
Do we sit again?
Yes.
Senator Barr.
Yes.
Senator Dibble.
Yes.
Proud.
Dirty bastard. Dirty bastard. I've got washing out on the line. I don't like having washing out in the dark.
No.
This is something not right about it. Makes me very uncomfortable. Makes me very uncomfortable. Do you want to watch a bit of Alton Towers?
Yeah, we can do. I also found online Copycats. Do you remember Copycats?
The impressionist thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was and what was his name? Andrew something. Quite a young man. Looked a bit Gutenbergy. I'd forgotten how brilliant he was. I mean, not
Andrew.
necessarily impressions.
Now David's gone. Andrew knows. David knows. Is aware of Andrew because he popped up in the Krypton Factor. He's also a magician, Andrew
Yes.
O'Connor.
Yes.
And he's kind of the brains behind Darren Brown.
Is he?
Yeah.
Because I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
And
Game
yeah,
show.
all right.
Hosted some game shows. So he is the producer of a lot of the Darren Brown stuff.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, good. I'm glad he's all right.
I tell you what. Tell you the joke that's getting thin.
Go on.
Is people saying, you won't believe this, but this is completely generated by AI. And then they just show an old clip. Someone did that with that program you were talking about. And
Yes.
you won't believe this, but this clip is entirely AI generated. And it's just like something from the 70s. You go, fuck off.
Yeah. But have you seen that beer advert where they've all got wobbly fingers?
No.
Yeah, that's completely generated by AI. And it shows. It's like a beer commercial as dreamed up by AI. Not dreamed. Calculated. And they've all got like rubbery fingers and weird
Thank
faces.
you very much. It just... Listen, let's just sit back and enjoy the AI. That Beatles singing God Only Knows, I love it. It's not perfect, pretty darn good. The one where they're doing a Macca solo song and George Harrison comes in. Yes. Now let's make a movie with Bruce Lee and Elvis in, please. Let's just start doing this now. Before the
Indiana
lawyers...
Jones, they're going to make him young, aren't they?
Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that in the trailer. They've
Yeah.
de-aged him.
That's what I mean. It was incredible.
But they've been doing that for years. They did that with Tron 2 and with the last Pee Wee Herman film. In fact, I read that the majority of the budget for the last Pee Wee Herman film was spent on de-aging
His
him.
face.
That's not
Right.
what he looks like. But yeah, bring it. But before the lawyers get involved, let's just start exploiting this AI. Let's have a new Beatles album. You know, let's. What would it be like having Paul McCartney singing the harmonies on Imagine? Let's do it. Let's do it. David says the Barbershop Quartet version of God Only Knows in Bioshock is incredible. I can't really listen to that song actually because it's my first dance of my wedding. Should we watch a little bit of Alton Towers?
Go on then.
And then we're on Twitch. We can do what the hell we want to do because we're on Twitch. We're on Twitch. Now someone sent it. Hold it because Gingerbread Mark sent it to me. Shut up, Roger. I would love to watch Paddington Green.
So would one other person.
I was typing something in, wasn't I? Alton. What was the documentary called? Dream Factory. Dream. I don't know. All right. Oh, we'll look it up on YouTube. Deep in my heart. I played some Dragon 32 games last night, Catherine.
You finished? No.
Could you tell
Sorry.
me who's that?
So I
in
was
the
just talking
background?
to my production team.
And let's just say, after playing those games, I'm glad I didn't spend £125 buying that Dragon 32 that we saw in.
No, it was obviously going to be a huge disappointment. I'm glad you managed to preempt it. It was a close run thing.
This Is Your Life, John Craven. Fuck.
What?
Really? Whoop! I just keep going back to that channel to see if they've uploaded any more Beatles AI. No.
Surely Macca's onto him by now.
No. Nothing yet. Did you play Cuthbert in the Jungle? Yes, I did. Jimmy McCa says, I'm just reminiscing about your classic radio clips, Ian. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you're reminiscing about them. What was I looking for? Alton Towers.
Yes.
Don't forget, people, we are here. This is Pledge Week. We are doing this show. We do 2 shows a week, but they're locked behind a paywall. If you want access to those shows, you need to go to patreon.com/Ian and Catherine, patreon.com/IAIN and Catherine with a K. You will also notice that above our heads, not only Sky, but we have a dono bar. It's Pledge Week. All this money helps keep these shows rolling along, although we are fully committed to keeping the show going. Shall we say till the end of the year, Catherine?
Yeah, let's
Shall we say till we'll be here? If you sign up, we will be here till the end of the year. And if you want to donate £360 to us now, then Dave wants to come in the Zoom. Yes, you did. I did say that. Right, Dave, hang on. Before we watch, let me work out how to get out of here. Before we do that, let me send you the Zoom link. Do that. Stop share. Got to stop share. There we go. Hang on a minute. Hold the line, please, caller. This is just for Dave. Nobody else. No.
Absolute lump.
Nobody else.
It's the kitten's birthday today.
How old are they?
2.
Jesus, wet.
They're not going to stop growing for another year.
In it.
You want to see the big lad?
Bastard Sprinkler says Dave from Pinner.
Come here, yes, boss.
My God. My God.
He's a fine, handsome beast.
It's outrageous behaviour.
Oh, here's Yoko. Slightly smaller.
Yeah, they're absolutely massive. Dave, can you come in quickly? Because I really need to go for a pee. But I don't want to go and then you're in the lobby of the Zoom. So, Dave, if you could click on that Zoom link really, really quickly, mate. Because I'm
quick as you can.
Quick as you can, mate. Chop, chop. Because I'm about to. Here we go. Here comes Dave.
Knees to chest, mate. Knees to chest.
See you later.
Is he in? He's not there. He's there. Dave. Hello. You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. Where's his nibs gone? He's disappeared. Oh,
he's got to go to the loo. Yeah, in your honour.
Well, yeah, he's allowed in his own house, I suppose. Is he finally letting him go?
It is a strange phenomenon, isn't it? That I used to work with someone who had to go home to go to the toilet, then come back to work.
Wasn't Kez Williams like that as well? And he wouldn't let anyone use his toilet either.
Yeah,
He used to send them down. He used to send them down the road to the public one with some money to pay for it.
Is that right?
Yeah. I think it's in his diaries, or people who try to. He only let very few people actually in his flat, but he always used to, send them down the road and they're not using his toilet.
Such a strange creature, because he used to drop his trousers all the time, didn't he, at parties and stuff?
Yeah, he used to what's now known as a barrowman, I guess. But, yeah, and he used to regular, so yeah, he was very odd. His diaries are fascinating, but,
full of self-loathing.
Yeah.
So he would go and he'd say, "Oh, I've disgraced myself again. I couldn't help myself."
Well, yeah, he used to say, he used to be laughing and, with everyone and go home and write, "It was terrible, all these people I've got to work with." But people said he used to go to restaurants and insist on having a place where he's got his back to the whole room so no one could see it.
Oh, right.
But he would also, after a while, he'd start talking louder and louder and sort of leaning back and looking around, and saying, "Oh, they're listening," So it was half sort of, he didn't want to be,
Look at
he
me, look
did-
at me, don't look at me, don't look
yeah,
at
don't
me.
look at me. Yeah, I don't want the attention. I'm not getting any attention, therefore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And he used to cling film on his cooker as well, and just take it. I think he was a bit of a
Clean.
whether you call it OCD, whether he
Yeah.
had that, I don't know. But yeah, he was a bit of a Howard Hughes.
Apparently, Henry VIII was like that, which is why this idea that he was,
He got rid of his wife so often.
well, yeah, maybe he wanted a clean one. But yeah, this idea that he was, a massive shagger is not quite true because he was obsessed with disease.
All right. Yeah.
Apparently.
Right.
Apparently. Mind you, if you've been brought up that way,
Yeah.
with people surrounding you trying to make sure you don't die every day, apparently he used to brick him up into his bedroom at night. It's not a normal way to live, is it?
Not
Has
really. No.
has Dave mentioned that the Fanny documentary is on TV this week?
We've got
Yeah.
not got around to Fanny's yet. We're still on butts.
Okay.
Yeah. So on Henry VIII's, of course, Henry VIII had a groom of the stool who used to wipe his ass for him. So
Yes, he did.
yes, and it was a much sought for job because it was only you were alone with the king. You were,
Yeah.
and people used to bribe you, say, wait, next time, wipe his backside.
One of my kids
Ask him whether he can get this sorted out.
of influence, otherwise you withhold
Yeah.
the toilet paper.
Yeah.
One of my kids' favourite horrible histories features that, and Henry VIII says, "Come and wipe my magnificent bum," which was the cry from our Lou for a long time until the girls got obsessed with something else. But yeah, wipe my magnificent bum. No, my majestic bottom. That's what it was.
Majestic bottom, yeah. But yes, the Fanny documentary is on.
Oh, I'll have some
It's
of that.
on Friday night. Yeah, I've been trying to get hold of it for ages, but the usual contacts let me down. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because
They
they're
were
really good.
great.
Yeah,
They were
really,
great.
really good.
And I love this idea that she's still making music and she lives on this kind of all-female commune where they could just concentrate on art, the whole time.
Well, one of them was Earl Slick's sister, who was Bowie's sort of side man for a long time in the 70s, and then again towards the end of his career and life, I guess. So, yeah. But yeah, we saw those twins today. That was weird.
Yeah, we saw that. For those who've just joined us, we saw two
Elderly
old
twins.
women in their 60s who were identical twins wearing identical clothing, guys.
Yeah, red sort of striped shirts and, as I say, gilets. Yeah.
Very, very, very peculiar.
But the two that I was talking about, I can't remember their name, is Frank and Freddie Cox.
Did they have curly hair?
Yes.
I remember those guys.
Because I was talking about, there's a film, Funny Bones, came out in the mid-90s with Lee Evans in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's rather an odd film, but they're in it. They have a sort of a cavalcade of, sort of acts, and people who sort of strip paper and, sort of someone who talks backwards. And there's those two who sort of, both talk at the same time. And there's a clip of them on TVAM. They got married to another set of identical twins.
I was reading about a similar setup in America, right? Two sets of identical twins married each other. Their children are genetic siblings.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's freaky.
Isn't that weird?
How many toes have they got? Yeah.
But those, I remember those twins. They had very curly hair, thin but curly hair, and they were like sort of proto Jedward, weren't they?
Looked a bit like Charlie Chuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, excuse me, I'm just trying to find something. Ignore me.
Yeah.
But they married another set of identical twins who I believe are still around. They must be in their 90s now, I guess. But
What?
the other
What
two,
are the odds you would get on?
no, exactly, or get off either way. Yeah.
Do you fancy my sister? Yeah, actually, obviously.
I've got no choice. Well, you can't say don't fancy yours much, can you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think when you get to know identical twins, you normally start seeing them as looking quite different. But those guys were very similar. I think one had a slightly slimmer face, didn't they?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but they were. They used to turn up on like chat shows now and again. You used to see them, But yeah, I remember them in that film Funny Bones, which is, I say, is a very odd film. But there,
Remember it coming out? I think I bought it on VHS from a guy in Camden High Street, but while it was still at the cinema. But I never got round to watching it for some reason.
No, I think apparently it got cut to ribbons in their test audiences who really hated it, and they sort of ruined it. But it's the cast in it. I think Oliver Reed's in there, Freddie Parrotface Davis, Leslie Caron, who was Gigi, is in it.
Yeah.
It's a real bit, and Jerry Lewis, and it's a film about comedy. I must enjoyed it, but it was a very, very odd film. But yeah, I just remember them in it as part of the sort of music hall acts. All these old sort of and then dog acts and fire eating and all that sort of stuff. I just remember them turning up a lot on TV.
I was going to say innocent times, but they weren't. Of course, we know they were dark days now. But
Yes.
but the entertainment on television seemed like more innocent times.
Yeah. I remember. What was that program you were talking about?
Which one? Copycats.
Copycats. Yeah. Yeah. So, but Gary Wilmot, Jessica Martin was it?
Yeah.
I can't remember now. And a Scottish fellow, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, and do you know what? Some of the impressions were all right. Some of them were there or
Davro
thereabouts.
was in it for a while.
Yes, Davro.
Alan Stewart,
The lineup
Alan
I saw, Davro was at the
Stewart
front.
is the Scottish guy, yeah, I think.
Mike Osman.
Yeah, I remember the name.
He ended up being a DJ on Capital Gold, I think.
Did he?
Mike Osman.
Because there was one that your mate was in, wasn't it? Who does the bestseller?
Oh, Kate Robbins.
Yeah, she was in one, wasn't it? Who Do You Do or whatever? That was called. That was made earlier.
Oh!
What have you found?
Oh, I found the Copycats. Can we watch a bit of Copycat State Right? Oh, you're in for a treat. It's
we go.
racially insensitive.
Oh God.
You're in for a
What is it?
racially insensitive treat. This is going to be tricky to show with 3 people, so allow me to set this up. Zoom screen. I'm going to go
I mean, Davro used to do Max Headroom, didn't he?
Okay, here we
Yes.
go. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Here we go. All right, literally just scan through this. Oh,
And
someone
there he is.
donated £3.92 just to annoy me. Bastard
Thank you.
Sprinkler. Thank you very much indeed. Here we go. Okay, so these are the adverts. Just literally just scrolled through this. Can you hear that?
For anything
Yeah.
else.
Okay, here we go. Literally just dragged the cursor through and this popped up. Racially insensitive, guys.
What can I do for you, Mr. Cricket?
We'll get through
Are you
this.
the famous High
Okay.
Street plastic surgeon? That's correct, yeah. Come here.
This isn't the sketch I
Think
saw.
you could put a new handle on my bucket?
Me and the team, we went in this bar.
Oh.
We broke up this big brawl.
I don't think that is a person of colour.
No.
Is that Mike Osmond?
I think that's Osman.
Yeah.
I walked in and said, I'm Mr. T. Now you all listen to me.
He's doing. Hang on, that's
He's not
more
in-
Muhammad Ali.
Well,
Yeah.
it's more Mohammed from Lee. I don't know what the accent is, but I'm pretty sure it's not either of
Well,
those
he
chaps.
just used the phrase Nancy boys.
All you guys
Nope.
on this side of the room, you're all drunken bums. Anyone makes a move has to fight with me. And this guy got up and walked across. I said, oh, you want to fight? He said, no. I'm on the wrong side of the room.
Copycats presents those Hollywood greats, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers.
Must you dance? Every dance.
I mean, it's.
today.
You didn't have to go and do that, did you?
Nah, but she did.
That's quite a good Seth Armstrong.
And I don't think that's a bad Ange.
No, it's not a bad Ange at all.
Well, thanks, Dave. You've brought racism, homophobia, and Seth Armstrong
That's what I do.
That's the name of the podcast.
into the mix. I think we're almost done. Dave, I'm going to say good evening to you. It was lovely to see you
Good
today,
evening.
and I'll see you.
You too.
I'll see you in a couple of months.
Yeah. All right.
Chowsy
Good night.
chow, chows, chowsy chow,
Bye.
chows. Dave is coming to the birthday party. If you're on the list, you're going to meet Dave. And you're going to meet Dave Turners. You're going to meet the Daves.
You're going to meet all the personalities.
All the personalities. Let's watch a little bit of Alton Towers. Let's just watch a little bit because I don't want to finish too early. I've just checked. There's no one I know is streaming on Twitch at the moment, so we can't. I wonder, compared to the lockdown, I wonder how many people are streaming, how many people are watching. I wonder what the stats are on Twitch comparatively to when it was lockdown. I think this seems to be where we were.
Ride little rides, shops, restaurants.
It's a place where you go and have fun and you eat lots of ice cream and you go on the rides and you win prizes like this.
You pay a lot of money to get into...
That is one hell of a hair colour.
It really is.
Isn't it?
It's not really found in nature.
No.
Start with, and it's a lot of queuing to get on all the rides when you get...
Oh, hang on, someone's knocked us up to 50 quid.
Thank
Liddy,
you so much.
£6, 8p. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. There we go, maybe 50 quid we got to. Thank you.
In here. And by the...
Oh, I should say, by the way, if you want to support the show, there's a couple of ways. You can sub to Twitch, do it for free, use your Amazon Prime. But the two most helpful ways are, actually, there's another way which I will talk about a bit later on. You can subscribe to our Patreon for $4.99 plus VAT every month. The price of 2 coffees from Starbucks. You get 2 shows a week that you can watch live. You can watch back. You also get podcasts off. You get access to over 2,000 hours worth of shows. And that is patreon.com/Ian and Catherine, patreon.com/IAIN and Catherine with a K. There is also a thing that we don't mention enough. You can sub. We put out like free podcasts, right? And we'll put this out as a free podcast, this full thing. But we do like little 20-minute, 30-minute podcasts for free. Now, if you subscribe to that for free, we get a few pence. So I'm just going to try and find the link, actually, because we get a few pence from Acast. Here's one. Here we go. So if you just... Ian Lee and Catherine Boyle, here's a link. Here's the Acast link. But if you find this podcast on your usual podcast provider, John, thank you for the sub, and subscribe to that from as many different accounts as you can, we get a few pence. In fact, I'm just going to tweet that as well. If you subscribe to these pods for free, I make a few pence. Every sub counts and is really helpful. Thank you. It'll be on Google Podcasts. It'll be on all your podcast providers as far as I'm aware. Find it. Make sure it's that right one because there are loads of Ian Lee podcasts. There are loads of Ian and Catherine podcasts because of our history is out there and we can't erase it. But find that. And if you sub to that, I don't think you even have to listen to it. We get a few pence. So if you're not sub to the Patreon, that's the way you're going to hear at least sections of the show. We pick like the best 20, 25 minutes of the show and put it out there. And if you are sub to the Patreon and you feel like having another podcast in your feed, it's really helpful if you sub to that. We get a few pence, and it adds up, and it can actually be quite a healthy part of our income.
Thank you.
That's enough of the adverts for today. Just to say, he said, contradicting himself, we are back on Friday, by the way. 7 o'clock. Kath's going to be here, so it'll be more of a phone-in show. And More Eyes 23 says, Kath's hair looks great, by the way.
Thanks. Today you haven't got round to everything you want to get onto.
Wood coaster. That's a roller coaster. Yeah, that's a roller coaster.
My basic objective is to give people...
Look at his computer, look at his computer.
We'll work that out
shit.
soon.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
And that...
Oh, dear.
You'll thank me later. You like this? Go on the ride.
I want to see this guy's computer. That's all I want to do.
My basic objective...
Look at that. That's a Cub monitor. Yep. Cub monitors were great. You'd have them at school. Big, massive, heavy things. But it gave you the best That is the 1985 equivalent of 4K HD, the Cub monitor.
They're the things the burglars used to nick when they broke in.
Yeah, and you would get them with a BBC Micro, but that doesn't... I can't work out what that is. The Edge looks like BBC, but it's not. Does that say... It might say IBM there. Don't know what that is, but still very advanced.
Is to give people fun. And there are lots of people that knock that, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with a bit of good, simple fun.
I don't see nothing wrong
with a good bit of fun.
And those people that set out to build the highest, the longest, the fastest, or whatever, end up probably with a very dull ride. And of course, next year, someone comes along and tops them. What I
Just making excuses for having a shit old ride.
We're going to the press launch, although by the time we get there, the press launch will have closed, of the new Jumanji ride at Chesington. Jumanji.
What to do is building the ultimate into...
Easy Super Blue says, similar to my old telly that I had to run a magnet on to make the screen clear. Remember I once...
It used to start to bend round the corner, didn't it, sometimes, the picture on old tellies? Because I had one like that.
I bought a watch once for a partner. It's very, very expensive. One of the first digital watches, and it had... You'd open a flap and it had a magnet, and you'd use that to set the time.
In terms of...
Luxuries and riches.
They didn't appreciate it.
In terms of the best.
He wasn't designing a roller coaster then, with a protractor.
With a protractor.
I will not be going on the Jumanji ride, by the way. Are you going to go on it, Catherine?
Of course I bloody am.
Turns you upside down.
My favourite.
You can take my eldest, because me and my youngest will not be doing
I can imagine my youngest will be standing with you as well.
And
Are they
she
going to
can-
open up the other rides too, or no?
Yeah, the whole park's open.
Right. It's not just everyone just watching everyone have a go.
No,
on one
no,
ride.
the whole park's open. I think
Beautiful.
it's press in the morning. I think in the afternoon, I don't think it's open to the public, that bit. I think it's just like, kind of ride nerds. I could be wrong. I need to speak to Amy about that. Thank you very much indeed. Sorry?
I said, could you verify that, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
There's no way he's designing a roller coaster there.
No.
I like the ones with water. I do like the water ones. Here we go. DJ Black. Twitch viewership April 2020 was 2.48 million. April 2023 was 2.44 million. Peak April 2021 was 3.11 million.
Mm.
So, yeah, dropped. Good. The bastards, the people that run it. No.
Upside down.
No. January 1991, Barry, South Wales.
Oh, speaking of rides, tell them
Yeah.
about when we went on the big wheel.
Yeah, we went on a big wheel. It's like a big Ferris wheel in Liverpool, and I thought it would be fun because I thought it'd be more like the London Eye, but it wasn't. It was a big Ferris wheel, and it rocked. And as soon as we got on, I went, because I don't like heights. I've made a terrible mistake. And it went round like 4 times, and I thought I'm not going to be able to do this. And there was a button you could press and I thought I'm not going to do it. And we got up to the top, and it was horrible, and it was rocking. And then I did some EMDR. A while ago to help with my fear of heights, and I thought it's not working. I thought, wait, let me just close my eyes, let me just remember some of the work that we did. Open my eyes, it was fine. That was an amazing turnaround, right?
It was, because at first I thought you were joking, then I realised you meant it. Then I said, I'll come and sit by you, and you went, no, don't move,
Don't move, yeah.
And then I saw you work it through. It was great.
Yeah. And it worked, and it was fine. I didn't like it, but that's okay. But I was
you weren't
not
panicked.
scared. I was not
Yeah.
panicked. I was not scared.
Alton Towers have asked me to design 2 new rides. They've done a lot of market research, and it's been decided that Haunted...
Oh, look at that Mini! You see that Mini pull out?
Yeah.
Someone's fucked up here. Someone's fucked up. The Mini's pulling out there. There we go.
A haunted house and a runaway train.
Then
There's
they
a
thought better
ride,
of
look.
it and reversed.
Or what they want. And I've got about £6.5 million to play with. I've completed the design of the haunted house.
What a boring man.
Doesn't sound a great deal of fun, does it?
I completed the design of the haunted house.
Now in outline. And now I'm going to Colchester.
To find some ghosts and to see if I can capture them in this bell jar.
The best, not a haunted house, but it was the ghost train. Was that one at the end of Brighton Pier where they raise from the dead just after you've gone past
Just
them?
after you've gone past, yeah.
Lazy ghosts.
See Keith Sparks.
He's going to go and meet Keith Sparks.
Oh, good.
I call him Sparksy. I call him Sparksy. If I've had a tipple, I call him Keithy Baby.
I call him K-Dog.
Okay.
Sparks Creative Services, who are going to actually haunt it for me.
David says the haunted house is based around tax return forms of the 1980s. According to this guy, yes.
They specialise in animations and special effects.
They specialise in animations and special effects.
Well, we thought that's what you meant when you said they were going to haunt it for you. We didn't think they were going to do a load of murders.
For our industry. And I'm going to brief them on what I want and my ideas.
So they got one windscreen wiper.
Well, any more would be overly elaborate.
Yeah. I think if we hurl a lot of water in it,
yes,
it'd give a huge wet noise.
Yeah.
That's what happened at the bloody ferry.
Who done it?
Oh.
That you can't possibly create artificially.
Yes.
Well,
was he off to fly a biplane to fight Biggles? The Red Baron. What's going on here?
That is a very sharp jacket and scarf combo.
Easy Super Blue says, nice twist would be if he thinks he's going to a haunted house theme shop and he ends up shitting himself.
To really pile in the elements.
You could have grotesque fountains.
Sparks.
Grotesque fountains. Exactly what I thought when he said haunted house.
Oh.
Yeah. We can have nasty, slimy things.
This guy's
coming
confident, isn't he? Sitting right back in his chair.
Out of the swamp, the whole bit.
We should use water, though.
Yes, I think real water.
We should use water. Real water. Well, I was thinking more of if you not got any of the fake water. Oh no, we'll use real water then.
It's a success.
As sinister as the graveyard is, but without it being a graveyard.
That's right, not a graveyard. Not a graveyard.
What very neat writing.
Beautiful.
What's it, a Victorian Gothic?
What's
that says Christ?
Ghost.
Oh, I was watching my boys play cricket, and someone came and went, "Yeah, that was a Jesus shot." And what does that mean? Well, that was really good.
Oh,
Jesus.
No. Really? No, you play cricket.
Well, we want to get the thing open for the beginning of.
Got my glasses on my dick. If this meeting goes well, I'm gonna make it look like my dick is a nose.
The 92 season. Yeah. So that's just before Easter of 92.
That's 15 months from now.
Yes.
I know we're talking about shock gags and the multiplicity of shock gags and the...
Shock gags? I think he means jump scares.
Shock gags.
I think he means... Who's that? I see. Why are you being such a weirdo, big boy?
Doing your shock gag.
Shock gag.
Timing of the shock gags.
Yes.
Your gag about the head...
If I was the guy on the left, right, your gag... Whoa! But just keep doing it all through the meeting. All through the meeting.
What I fear most is that something that I design...
Kill someone. Huh? That's what I would fear most. If I was making rides, that it would kill someone.
Yeah. Let's hear
is
what
not
his great
going
fear
to
is.
entertain people in the way that I have planned. So on that very first ride on the opening day, the visitors come off that ride with deadpan expressions on their faces. And I thought that I was in touch with what was going to amuse and entertain them. And in fact, I've been wrong. Put that one in.
The other shock one that I thought would be nice that could build up as a shock
is if we had a person of colour on the team. That would be a shock, wouldn't it?
Or a woman.
Or a woman.
You're coming into an
Oh, it's got look nice bit of Stollen or something there. Got cake.
alleyway, going away like that, and you've arranged down the side a corridor like a concealed box, long box. In that box are huge claw hands, and they're about 4 or 5 foot. Huge hands like that.
Right.
And they're on swing arms.
Right.
And as you hit that point, the first hand goes up, the second one, they seem to be closing over. And as you're coming down, so the hands are grabbing
So
it.
they form a complete archway.
A tunnel of hands, and they all go. They all.
Amusement park.
That does sound pretty good.
Tunnel of hands.
Sort of claw tunnel, yeah. Like that.
Shitting hell.
Have always existed, permanent amusement parks.
I can't remember, this was before the Saw movies.
Very true, actually.
Have the
all we had was Jason Voorhees and Freddy.
Yeah.
Facility.
Visionary, do you want to try it again? I think Visionary. I think it's wine time. Where Amber is.
To provide unique, special forms of entertainment that don't have to be portable, which is why the attractions you tend to get at good theatres.
He's thinking the claw tunnel is the shittest idea I've ever heard, but I'm not going to say it to his face because I look too much like Neil Kinnock. Oh, elections tomorrow, isn't it?
I've already voted. I voted last week.
There isn't one near where I am, but it's going to be great to see that lot get a kick in. It's going to be great.
But I've got a feeling that people around here would vote for anyone if they're wearing blue.
Where I live, it is Brexit.
This is
Brexit
Dory's
City.
land, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah. But in a lot of places, I'm going to be kicking them out.
Let's see.
Dave Dogface says tunnel of hands equals being a secretary in the 1970s. Thank you very much.
Theme parks are not traditional fairground rides.
Hand comes up, there's a scream.
There's a scream.
Because he realised that the wasn't quite enough, so he's added the scream in there. An extra bit of peril.
Oh, it's called Themes, Dreams and Scream Machines. You can see that behind the tipping your waiters thing.
What's happening here is really what happened in America.
Oh, for
Oh, it's so simple. All you have to do is enter a few details about your car on our website.
Is this
and
part of the
upload
ride?
some photos. It really is that easy. The more information you give, the more
he's reading that slightly off camera.
Accurate the price is.
He's also not
and
really
it
there.
means there's no reducing the price on collection.
Hate to break it to you guys, this entire advert was made completely with AI.
Also, could you let go of my hand, please, sir?
Look at a tiny little hand. Look at that tiny little baby hand.
Your car then
You
goes
know those
into a
knuckles are being
online
crushed
auction
together
where
by the
thousands
macho
of
man.
dealers that we know.
Also, did he know he was going to be filmed? Because he's just like wearing a crappy jumper.
I know.
And we
Like Ian
trust
Lee fan.
bid to buy your car. All you have to do is accept the best offer.
Car
I was thinking I was going to accept the worst one, actually, like cheap.
Carwell. Billy bitty bop. Carwell.
25 years ago, and we followed, done things slightly differently.
Ray Barrett, development director of the
This is the thing,
Tussauds.
right? Now, you get people often with this kind of aspect saying, oh, these days it's all a box ticking exercise. We know which box they were ticking back then. All blokes that look like that.
Yeah.
But the route is the same, and I think the philosophy is the same. Fun fairs have got rather a discredited image. Unfair in some respects, but a discredited image.
40 pence, but then in gaffer electrical, it's not even gaffer, it's electrical tape. Put a 5 over
Oh, that'll be 50, thanks. You know how much the fair was down our common the other day?
Oh, I bet about 60 quid.
It was £6 a ride. So that's like, you send your kid down there with a tenner. Okay, that's one ride then, and then you can watch your friends on the rest.
A tenner's,
one each.
Yeah, tenner's a little bit out of.
Well, that's what my kids get, a tenner for their pocket money.
And people now are looking for a day's entertainment rather than just a couple of hours or an evening. And therefore, the opportunity to visit
That
places
man's hat is tiny.
Or his head is huge.
Thank you.
that have been well thought out, well done, well landscaped, well constructed, safe, good, wholesome.
Graham, delete your account. Delete your account now.
What did he put?
I'm not going to have that in the chat. I hear the bouncy castle has gone up. Damn inflation. Graham, you're better than that, mate. You're better than that.
Environment and exciting has perhaps hastened more recently the decline of fun flags.
They're lingering on that woman's face quite a lot, aren't they?
And that weird old man's face. The happy octopus.
I don't like what they're implying.
Britain in Victorian times and at the turn of the chance travelled long distances.
John Collins, international chairman of International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions.
Ah, fun John Collins.
John Collins. I bet he's Sir John Collins now.
Britain in those days. So then you had the traditional seaside amusement parks cropping up.
Well,
wow. The tassels.
Zero, thank you for the sub.
For the benefit of the podcast listener, Ian is fast-forwarding and rewinding the Tassel Girls to create a hilarious illusion.
Opportunity for pay one price theme parks, call them what you like.
Hang on a minute, that is a knife thrower.
Close.
That last one was very close to the throat, wasn't it?
Take your throat off.
Look at that, and that's going in. That's not popping out the board.
No.
Holy shoot! No, mate.
No.
There's something about that movement that's not quite right, though, is it? Anyway.
What you like came through much wider car ownership.
What did you see that? Look at the person leaning out of the car.
Oh my God!
What the what are you doing, you dickhead?
This is why they say keep your hands in the vehicle and your head.
A much better motorway system. But Britain was, again, very late in developing good road links. The rest of Europe were much quicker.
I don't know,
to be fair, his hands are still inside, says Hippo. You're right, yes.
Obviously, the United States had a very sophisticated freeway system.
If you love me so much.
Keith Moon.
I had this aunt and uncle, Uncle Tommy and Auntie Reenie, who had an act called
Auntie Reenie. What's the act going to be called? Tarzan and Jane? The Natives?
Vadia and Dorinova. What? Uncle Tommy and Auntie Reenie, who had an act called Vadia and Dorinova.
Vadia and Dorinova.
Dorinova being the Russianization of Doreen.
Would you please welcome Vadia and Dorinova?
I didn't see
And the
Doreen.
Dive of Death. And this basically consisted of Uncle Vadia and Dorinova and the Dive of Death. And this basically consisted of Uncle Tommy jumping from one of the stage boxes onto
I'm going to say it. Nice ass.
Auntie Reenie's shoulders. Now, after you've been doing this for a few years, you begin to get a bit
He looks like
worn
Mike
into
Love.
He does look like Mike Love after he's been fasting.
Ground. And they decided that when they were in there sort of getting on a bit, that they wanted to do something slightly less physical. And so they started an illusion act. And also, Uncle Tommy used to manufacture illusions for other magicians. And as a child, I used to go and visit them and was surrounded by all these wonderful cabinets and props.
Is that his wife? Here's a picture of him with a mannequin.
Some props and bits and pieces. And that really sparked my imagination and got my interest going in it. Now, if you want to float anything, this is the book to go for. The Encyclopedia of Suspensions and Levitations.
I wonder if you can get that on Amazon.
There's some crazy ideas in here, going right back in history.
What am I looking at?
For the podcast listener, we're looking at a very strange diagram of a man standing on a platform that I think, if it were real, would make it look like he's floating.
Now this one,
And there seems to be underneath a well, it looks like an animal's backside, but it's got an arrow saying winch on it.
By the way, you don't get enough pictures these days that say Fig 3.
No.
Fig B. You don't get those anymore.
you wouldn't do it like this.
Gatford's tried a joke.
Oh, no, not
So
again.
let's just go to the title of the book, right? Because Gatford's tried a joke.
To float anything, this is the book to go for.
Here we go.
The Encyclopedia of Suspensions and Levitations.
So I'm going to help Gatford with his joke. I tried reading the Encyclopedia of Suspensions and Levitations. I kept losing my place.
No, the best. I've just thought of the best joke.
Gatford, that doesn't work on any level.
The punchline is, I couldn't put it down.
That's it. That's it. I think that's what he was aiming for, but it's not what he said. It's not what he said.
There's some crazy ideas in here, going right back in history.
He did have a go, Dan. You're absolutely right, and we should be applauding that. But we're not, and we won't.
Now this one.
Tumbleweedford, thank you, Nelly. Oh, Nelly, I deleted a video of you today. I was cleaning out my hard drive, and there was a clip of you, talking about piss or something. I deleted it.
You wouldn't do it like this nowadays, but this thing comes...
Oh, it's Dan. Shite Jokeford.
So what you mean, Dan?
Michael Mackinford, says Dave Dogface.
Comes up through a trapdoor in the stage, up the bloke's trouser
Gary
leg
will
and
not.
supports the girl. In that way, I don't
That was a
Gary
good
will.
one.
Do you say Gary will not?
Yes.
Okay.
think anyone would use that method nowadays.
Vaughan Sound.
Ladies and
See, people call that a tannoy. The real name is actually Vaughan Sound.
gentlemen,
No.
we're proud to introduce to you a sensational speciality act with fire and steel.
Is that...
Don't tell me that's Rini.
No.
Stromboli and Sylvia.
Stromboli and Sylvia. When we were expecting our second child, and Dylan, gosh, so he's 18 now, so he would have been 6 or 7. You ask the kids for names, and he said,
Yep.
call it Stromboli. So great. It's a strong name, isn't
It
it?
is a strong name, yeah. My eldest wanted to call my unborn child Tangerina.
There we go. There you go, Tangerina and Stromboli. They're a great couple. Gary Wilmot's dad did sing "I am a mole and I live in a hole." I am a mole and I live in a hole. You know that song?
Yeah, but he wasn't really, was he? He was Gary Wilmot's dad.
Yeah. All right, Gene Simmons. There's a man blowing fire. And it is blowing fire. It's not breathing fire.
I mean, years ago, you went to a fairground and there was a boxing booth, there was a...
The great Stromboli, sword swallower and fire eater. He was blowing fire.
sword swallower maybe, a fire eater, jugglers, all the rest of it. A lot going on.
My
and you could
granddad
go
used to do the boxing at fairs.
into these various little booths all the way around. At the same time you went up, you played all the machines. Well, now, that side has more or less died down. There's not so many places for them to go in like that. There's just mainly machines and various things to go around.
He's pulling out some swords.
If you haven't got a car today, you can't get to the
Don't
leisure
pop
place
those
unless
in.
you've got a
No.
bus. But
Oh, I flip it. I love sword swallowers. That's a messed up act, right? That is messed. Is it really completely straight? Yeah. Down. Is that what the body is? Is the body straight?
I mean, a lot of these small fairgrounds and circuses and that, they go...
There's a man with a third of a sword sticking out of his mouth. I
Mind
love
you,
it.
That is how I eat a curly whirly.
right down into the
Is that a euphemism? Or you mean the chocolate bar?
villages through and
Curly whirly. Oh, that reminds me of a curly whirly.
into the mountains of Wales and places like that and still perform.
Put your hands together for the great Stromboli and Sylvia.
This documentary is very surreal, right?
It's dry as.
Blag, I'm not going to read that out. They're disgusting and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Now this, believe it or not, is the haunted house.
Is it been built on an ancient burial ground?
Huge steel building, which
That's the only way to guarantee real ghosts.
looks a bit like a Tesco's half completed, won't ever be seen by the visitors. All they see is this facade on the outside.
Yeah, you're right, Richard. There's no background music.
The whole of the building is
or fun.
then hidden.
We're only watching this because Gingerbeard Mark said we should, and he's not even here.
No, he's hit and run.
In 9 months' time, this will be the interior of the haunted house. 1,800
We get how building
people
works.
per hour will be poured, which puts quite a lot of demand on
Holy
the,
water
on
going
the
on there?
mechanisms themselves. But we got it all well planned,
Having
and
a
I'm sure
spooky
it'll
cup
work
of tea.
in the end.
Oh gosh.
Just saw some really shit ghosts.
While I was working
Theatre Royal Windsor, did my work experience there. That's where I met Ali Bongo.
in stage management at the Theatre Royal in Windsor, getting paid very little, as stage managers used to and still do, I hasten to add, get paid. Windsor is located more or less halfway between Pinewood Studios, where they were churning out James Bond films at the rate of about one every 18 months, and Bray Studios, where they were churning out Hammer horror films. This is in the late 60s. Hammer horror films at about one every 6 months. And I started augmenting my wages by building trick props and other
Goodbye, boring.
When you got a job. Showing up on the first page of Google.
Should we just skip to the
might
end
not
when
be
they
the
built
best
the
for
ride?
everyone.
Yeah, because I think we're going to live this 9 months in real time if we leave him to it.
one there.
Clive Stevens is off.
Oh. Obviously, I take existing theme park for just a few minutes, or in the case of a whole theme park, a few hours, to another time and another place. And it is what escapism is all about. And that's all this is. We're not trying to pretend that we're now in a...
That might be Chessington.
We're doing it because
Yeah, it's
it
Chessington.
involved...
That's the boys' that's Tiger River or whatever it's called. That's the boys' favourite ride at Chessington.
And it looks no different.
Looks no different. The Big Buddha.
Huge capital expenditure of about £10 million. I felt that an awful lot rested on my shoulders. You know, have I got it right? Am I
Did this guy design Tiger River?
really in touch with what the British public want? Because you have to plan so far in advance, you have to anticipate by 3 or 4 years what people are going to want.
Suddenly this guy is an absolute player and a legend. He designed my boy's favourite ride.
And I thought, you know, if I've got it wrong, boy, am I in trouble. And so consequently on opening day, my old heart was really fluttering. I just didn't know whether people were going to like it. And thank goodness they did. In a big way.
Just look at
What's
this
guy playing at?
Yes, this is a ride. This is a ride. Oh, video camera. This is a ride.
Theming turns a fairground ride or a regular amusement park ride into a special experience. It takes the visitors for just a few minutes, or in the case of a whole theme park, a few hours, to another time and another place.
If he designed this, then this
and
guy
it
is an
what
actual
escapism
legend.
is all
Yes, that
about.
was an
And that's
anecdote,
all this
Nelly.
is. We're not trying to pretend that we're now in a Thai jungle. Sure, we're in the middle of the Surrey countryside, but at the same time, it's a bit of fun.
Isn't there anymore?
The average family of 4 will spend...
That's now the Gruffalo. It's probably like
used to
Mr.
be,
Professor
what's called
Bubbles.
something?
Professor Bubbles Bubblorium or something.
about 50 to 60...
Here's the thing, we need Mandy here because Joseph, her son, knows the date that every ride started and every ride closed. So, Joseph, I know you're not here, but we need you, man.
We need you. Pounds on a day at a park like
Ralph Armand.
Chessington. That includes obviously getting here, the petrol money, the ticket to get in, which is maybe about £30 to £40 for all 4. Plus they'll
30 to £40 for all 4.
Wow, imagine.
spend money on food and drink and souvenirs.
See, now, at that point in the ride, my boys are sneakily putting their hands in the water to flick it or putting their hands in front of the spray to get me wet.
Or my girls are crouching behind me so I get the full blast.
Is in the day.
I want money. That's what I want.
We don't force them through the shop, but it's certainly made quite clear that that is the ideal way through. And they're given the choice to buy souvenirs which are themed for each of the areas.
That's what. Okay. I wonder what those, when you came out of a ride, what those places were with tills and things all over the place. So that's a gift shop, and what can you do there, Catherine? I didn't quite.
You can buy merchandise, and it's themed to each ride.
Okay, that.
You have the choice of that. Yeah.
I wish they'd make that clearer. I really do. Yes!
After we had completed phase 1 at Chessington,
I can go on that one. That's the Scorpion. Oh, why isn't Amy here? Oh, man.
Made a problem for ourselves because...
That's the one I go on with the boys, and I swear a lot. Joe says, I wonder if they'll show where I break my thumb. No, because you broke your thumb at Windsor Safari Park. So they won't be showing that here. No. Why have you just popped up all of a sudden?
Also, I happen to know that Windsor Safari Park don't like to discuss that anymore.
No. Why have you just popped up all of a sudden, Joe? What's going on with you? What's going on with you, man?
We had such a success on our hands.
That is not the one I swear on. That one I don't swear on.
That people were turning up.
Word.
Kate says, I got stuck on that log flume by myself when I was about 8. I cried all the way round.
Oh. Don't.
Vast numbers.
You're traumatised.
And we needed to increase our capacity. And we felt that a roller coaster of some kind was the right thing. But
what, a theme park? This guy's a visionary.
There aren't very many things you can do with a roller coaster in the way of theming.
It's so boring. Tunnel of Claws. Tunnel of Claws.
Is that not the vampire that they're showing there?
I've ridden the vampire. I can do the vampire.
Love it.
I can do the vampire. I don't enjoy it. The thing with the vampire is I know it's about 70 seconds, and I can endure. As someone who's endured migraines where if I had had a gun, I'd have shot myself. I'm not exaggerating. I can endure 70 seconds of pure terror.
Do you know what I don't like about the some of these rides? The queuing up in the dark. I don't like that. I don't like the walking through tunnels.
No, that's what it's all part of that. That one with the Wicker Man we went on, and they said, "Oh, it's not that scary." And then we did it, and I was sat with Alex, my eldest, and this was 2 years ago, so he would have been 11. And I realised I'd been tricked onto a ride that was, and I said, Alex, I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm going to swear. And he said, Daddy, is it okay if I swear? And I went, yes, it is. And there's something wonderful about sitting next to my 11-year-old son and both of us going, fuck! It was so lovely. It was really, really a very special memory. That's not vampire. Is it? I have not done the Saw ride at Thorpe. Oh, that could be vampire.
Yeah.
But then I had to think of other ways to develop the Transylvanian theme as being a cute, pretty little mid-European village, all lederhosen and hanging baskets and everything.
Mark says this isn't the doc I recommended. What?
We've been duped.
Are we watching the wrong thing? Has Mark just come in? What?
We've been cursing your name, man. This is dry as.
Why? This is boring. What was the thing you sent me then? What was the thing you sent me? Why are we watching this crap, Mark? I hold you responsible for this. The Magic Factory. Oh, we've got to watch this to the end now. Let's skip forward.
Ciao.
We'll skip forward. Oh, there's... Oh, you mean this one?
Oh no, we can't jump now. We're too far in.
We've got to see
Fast
this.
rides, little rides, shops.
We've got
The
to see this.
apprehensive part for me, is it as I imagined it was going?
Ghost of Sir Emily Alton walking through the rooms of the doll's house. The eyes on the pictures follow you around the room. The pages of the book turn.
The scariest thing about
and
that
in the
waiting area
fireplace,
is
in the flames of the fire, is the sinister face of the ghost of Sir Henry Alton.
Mark, where have you been? What did you just hear that we were slagging you off? Did like your little spidey senses slagging me off somewhere? The buggers.
Transit system that the visitors ride around the haunted house in.
Transit system.
Each one of these vehicles has cost us over £18,000, more than the average family car, and we have 32 of these.
All right, well, I feel.
And they wouldn't let us in a nightclub with real scissors.
It wouldn't let me into a nightclub with real scissors. That's a tricky wank, isn't it?
It's the people that were doing all this. They've pushed the cars and completely knackered up all the blocks. We'll get it.
Bloody people
clear, all
enjoying
right,
themselves
Alan,
have
but,
ruined my ride.
What's the next one that needs clearing? 9. Sorry? 9 and 55.
That's now the Space Blaster. Oh no, that's his Alton. I'm getting confused. Is this Alton Towers? I'm getting confused.
Nine and 55 are both clear.
Who's that?
It's absolute.
It's
Bloody
Schofield!
Schofield. That lad gets where water wouldn't.
It's absolutely terrifying.
Yes, mate, but not for the reason you think we're thinking. Oh, well done, Easy. Super Blue, ahead of the queue as per. Well done. Well done. Well done. Steady on, Beastie. Steady. Well done. Well done. You've won the internet tonight, Easy Super Blue.
The haunted house itself, if you were thinking of having a go, covers an area about the size of a football stadium. There are, however, some very strange, spooky, and extremely frightening goings on. I think, ladies and gentlemen, it is about time to declare this magnificent ride open.
What's going on here? Let's be honest, this ride does not look scary on any level.
That's because you've not seen the Tunnel of Claws.
I would like to apologise to Ginger Bib Mark for dragging your name through the dirt by suggesting that you suggested we watch this crap. I take full responsibility.
No, because he suggested we watch some other crap.
Which we'll watch tomorrow. Dave says, asterisk, not real ride footage. Tunnel of Claws. There's a Tunnel of Claws! I think that was it! But they were fingers.
Tunnel of Fingers.
Or dicks. Tunnel of Dicks. That was Catherine's nickname at school. Oh, you can leave any time you want. You can leave any time you want.
The truth, ladies and gentlemen, is that I had no such nickname and was getting absolutely zero attention from boys.
My nickname.
Your nickname was Tunnel of Dicks.
Look at that bell.
Your nickname.
What is that supposed?
Yes, it's that.
Oh, there's a nipple.
Applause. I just...
There's a scary nipple. It's shit.
Finger.
This is awful. Dan says this is down there with Paddington Green. Rude. Rude.
Strachan.
We don't have to be here, you know. Look at the teeth. There's a lot of teeth there on display. What does he say? Someone read his lips. What does he say?
Give me my light.
You couldn't take everybody and put them in the Royal Opera House, Covent Garden and expect them to enjoy.
Jeff Capes!
Stop that, Capes. You'll break it.
Jeff Capes! And it's the bloke from the bill! This will be us on next Saturday.
Star-studded.
An opera. You couldn't take everybody and put them in a bingo hall and expect them to enjoy bingo.
DC Carver, thank you, Gatford.
Whereas what we do, you can get most people and you can give them a bit of fun. I always get on a bit of a low once things have opened. But then I start thinking...
The Who's Who of Britain. Do you know what, Mark? I'm going to say this is better than the one you suggested. So I take back that apology. This is better than the one you suggested. Because we've seen Jeff Capes and DC Carver.
New ideas. I start thinking, right, where do we go from here? So I'm going to put my thinking cap on. I've already got a few ideas. And this is where we...
Mark says,
that's
I'm just
no
happy
thinking
to
cap,
be
that's his walking jacket.
really start the
Mark says, I'm just happy to be talked about. Good.
next one.
What will he do next? Oh, there's a cat down here. I couldn't see.
Why is this so weird?
Bloody hell.
Oh, Jesus, what?
Both of the cats giving us shock gags.
Can you stop being dickheads? Why are you sniffing the floor? That normally means there's been a mouse on it.
Or a wee-wee.
Well, they did a wee in the upstairs room, which I never go in. But Kim might start sleeping in there soon. So I've had to try and scrub this wee. It is like someone has died. Yeah.
It's because he's sad because he's on the
It does seem like a corporate documentary, not for broadcast.
My favourite one of all was the wall, which suddenly just had faces in the wall, and that suddenly came to life. And that...
I like the Tunnel of Dicks.
It was very exciting. You have bits flying above you and walls coming in on you. And I don't know, it's just a bit spooky.
You're going along and you feel like something's going to hit you, so you have to crawl underneath. You feel really stupid, actually.
Oh, Dave, I'll read it and I'll get it. Was Adric killed again? There's a reference.
It's fantastic, really. You can open your eyes with the hailstones coming at you.
Well, that looked like a lot of fun.
So this is the one that Dave, Mark recommended.
Yes.
Right, okay. We'll
I
watch
remember those
this
froggy
tomorrow.
faces.
Do you know what? I've just had the most wonderful feeling because I just thought, oh, I've got an unopened loaf of bread that I bought on the way home today.
Ooh.
Cheesy sandwich, cheesy sandwich. That's what I'm having for my supper. Then to bed to watch some Dragon's Den. God, look, I hate it when people I respect retweet my tweets and the spelling is awful. Andrew Hickey just retweeted one of my things.
Delete it. That'll teach him.
Right, I don't think there's anybody twitching that is one of us. Let's have a little look. No, there's not. So you know what? We're going to leave it. We're done. We're done for the night. Katarina Boyle, thank you very much. Oh, where have you gone? There you are.
Thank you for your collaboration.
We're done. Yeah. We'll be back on Friday at 7 o'clock. It'll be a phone-in show. We'll probably watch the proper Alton Towers documentary. By the way, if there's anything you want us to do or talk about, or any clips you want to show us, please email latenightalternative@gmail.com. And we've had some really, really good clips. I thought we'd had that Alton Towers documentary sent to us, but it was a completely different one. But latenightalternative@gmail.com. And do you know what? Catherine might be open to challenges on Pradeeps because I taught her how to do it. Don't say. But maybe on Friday, Birmingham. We did it with Birmingham, but maybe we did on the way we kept doing. But I've taught Catherine the Pradeep technique.
I've been given lessons in the secret.
I've never told anyone before, and once you learnt it, you were like, oh my God.
It gave me an extra few seconds on that Pradeep.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much if you've donated tonight. Thank you if you've subbed to Patreon. Thank you if you just come along and watched us tonight. It's all good. If you can't afford the paid stuff, then please join us for the free ones. Another free one on Friday, and we will get a date sorted out. Probably not this weekend, probably the weekend after for the Zoom meeting for the £15. I saw we had someone who upgraded theirs to £15, so that's very, very nice. But on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, have a safe evening, and we'll see you on Friday. Goodbye.